of. How does that stack up against all the other races in that series? Where would you put this hard enduro? You know, is it the hardest, the Ersberg, the Red Bull Hare Scramble?
I would say it's probably the most important one because everybody's watching it, you know? Like if you explain our sport sometimes and you just say, yeah, we are racing Ersbergrodeo, the people know exactly what the sport is about. So there we can see how important it is. But yeah, it's definitely one of the harder ones in the series. So I think the other guys will definitely agree with me.
Well, Paul, I mean, you know, you've been doing it, what, since... You must have been at nearly every one in the last 25 years, ain't you, Bolt?
Oh, cheers, Rob. Yeah. No, it is, like Manny says, it is one of the most iconic. It was my first major hard enduro as well back in the day. So, yeah, still here. But I was there when Taddy started as well.
Really, yeah. And Taddy, I mean, you know, those two haven't actually won it yet. You have. You've not won it once. You've won it 5 times. I mean, it must be an incredible race for you to look back on as well, huh?
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's a cool race. You know, it's got this race got this special place in my heart. I always say that. You know, it's helped my career. You know, big times. You know, it's where everything kind of like got going. You know, in a bigger scale and everything. So it's massive for sure. You know. Yeah, I've won it 5 times, you know, like the voice said. You know, the race is really important. You know, it's something that kind of defines our sport, right? It's, you know, where the hard enduro kind of like, you know, started. Not really started, but when it got big. So, yeah, that is an important race for me. You know, it was something that, it was the main race of the season, you know, till like 2010, I would say, you know, and then my focus was on the indoors, you know, like, indoors, you know, we had so many different championships, you know, in America and Europe and all that. So for me, it was more about winning championships than just getting ready for that one race. But still, you know, like my 5 wins in a row. I think if the series would be bigger back in the day, I would like, you know, I would continue like with all the focus on only that, you know, kind of racing. But anyway, it's awesome. Like looking back at it, you know, it's unreal. It's cool.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun looking back, and you know you haven't got a bad track record indoors either, Taddy. We'll speak to you in a little bit. Please send also all your questions in. I mean, we've got incredible guests here. They want to hear from you on the social medias channels, Red Bull Motorsports, at Red Bull Motorsports. Please fire your questions in. And we're going to start then with the Ersbergrodeo from 2013. And joining me to look at this race is Paul Bolton. So, Paul, 2013 Red Bull Erzbergrodeo. I imagine you remember this one for getting wet.
Oh, absolutely, Rob. Our socks weren't dry from the moment we arrived in Eiseners. So, yeah, it was epic. The hardest thing at the beginning was just getting around, getting the paddock set up, etc. There's puddles everywhere, and then the night before the first prologue, it literally just dumped down with snow, and basically I only just made it back over to the digs on the other side of the mountain. So, yeah, I mean you can see how deep the puddles are. Down in the bottom of, well, it's not a puddle, it's a lake, more like, so, yeah. And they were just about to start us there. So, obviously, in this race, the prologue was the key, because actually, on this, with all the snow that we had overnight, it all melted and went down into the valley, so that, down into the quarry bottom there. So you can just see how deep them puddles are. And, yeah.
And cold,
once we got
cold, right, Bolt?
Oh, freezing, yeah, but you soon get warm, don't you, in hard enduro, no matter what it is.
Dude, how can any bike survive that? Like, look at the bikes just packing up. I mean, I can't believe it.
Well, you can just see Johnny there in the background, he's just drowned his bike. I've clipped a rock under the water and I'm already underwater swimming. So at this point now, that's Letty just going through there. So Big Letty got a good start in this race and he was quite strong at the beginning. But if you watch from the prologue, Graham actually didn't qualify on the front row. So literally he was on the second row watching all us guys make all these mistakes, and that's the second row away now. And then he just watched us all make the mistakes, drown our bikes, and he sort of cruised through, got a decent start, and then when he got to the, oh, there's me actually right there.
Pushing her out, Bolts, already.
Yeah, pushing her out. And when Graham got to the top of this first hill, he must have been in sort of, I don't know, let's say he was in about 15th position. So he already had, didn't have many queues coming up in the forest, which was absolutely saturated with all the water.
Look at this mess behind. I mean, How do you approach a start like that, Bolts? Because you know that you need to be at the front, and I guess you're just going to go for it off the line. But when it's that deep, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, you look at this. Even Dougie Lampkin flooded her out.
Yeah, basically.
Difficult, really, to know what to do there, eh?
Yeah, it's just drenched the air filter basically, and a few others, including myself, actually dropped the bikes in there. And yeah, it was so annoying. But all that way to Austria to do that. That's me there, just trying to have a look at it. But yeah, I went for the electric start too eagerly. Look at Johnny trying to get up there because his bike's probably not running so well at the bottom. No. It's got a saturated air filter. So, but there's Big Letty getting through.
And that's Letty Senior leading then, right?
Yeah.
That's Andreas out front.
The real Letty.
The real Senior, the boss, the real boss.
Yeah, no, and even at the bottom of all these hills, because all the water had been washed down, there was literally massive swamps here and there. So it was like your bike went in it was like concrete. It just blocked the chain completely. So you had to be really careful where you were going. You couldn't trust anywhere. So, but it was a hell of a race, and literally, we couldn't imagine how hard the prologue was, because literally the last third of the mountain was literally like 6 inches snow, so we were just flat out at the prologue and everything else. That was 2 days before this chaos. This
must be the craziest start ever, and it Bolts this one. Look at it. I mean, they're pretty wild, so. The hare scramble starts anyway, but...
Yeah, I reckon it was literally the craziest start. We all said he's going to move the start, and Carl being Carl, it was like, no, we're going through the water, it's going to be good.
a jet ski would be miles better there. Look at it now.
Definitely would.
And there's the traffic jam. And Paul, while we're on the set, you mentioned the prologue there, the Iron Road. I mean, there's about 1,500 riders usually try and get into the hare scramble on the Sunday. Only 500 qualify, right? And your start position is reliant on where you finish on the Iron Road.
Yeah, exactly. So the prologue's all about getting on in that first 50.
Look at
and as you just saw then from the look at the conditions there, the snow, and that's the lower part of the mountain. Obviously, it takes us 10 minutes or so to get to the top of the mountain, so you can imagine there you go. That's Lars Ennekel getting a bit squirrely there in the corner. But it was the grip was actually pretty good on the prologue. It wasn't that it was so bad for traction. It was just you couldn't see properly, and the lines were a bit different. Nobody was, and then it went very difficult.
And then it got really. You had all the different weather types this week, did you? I mean, it was like hot one day, snow the next. It's crazy up there in the Austrian mountains in Styria.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, you know what mountains are like, Rob. The weather can change in an instant, and it got really warm. Obviously, it gets all hot and humid because of all the weather being on the floor and everything. So, yeah, it was it's a crazy time it was. That's the top of Waterpipe there, where Big Letty's just going through,
and he's still leading. And of course, he hadn't won it at this point, had he, Andreas? He won it in 2015. That's right. So
with everybody when they all teamed up together. That's it. So, but this is going into Badawan, what's known as Bathtub. So this year there was obviously it's very slick, this section. There's like a purple slime on it, and it was so slippery, but. If you've got a good run in and the transfer onto the hill's really good, so you get good speed in.
Here, Bolts, is there anything like firing a dirt bike up the unbelievable uphills? The climbs in the hare scramble. I mean, they are. When I went and commentated on that year, and I borrowed a bike and had a little go at some of them. I mean, I was blown away by the scale and the steepness of these climbs.
Yeah, the Ersberg's very unique for the climbs, and there is a lot of traction in most of the places, but literally some of the hill climbs you're going into the hill climb in second gear, and then basically clicking third on the way up. So
hang on, let's listen in here, Paul, quickly. I think we're going to hear something. Sorry to cut you off. It's you trying to get your bike going.
Oh dear.
Did you run the battery flat?
Yeah, but yeah, there was a kickstart on it though, and obviously these were carb bikes then, so. But basically, what happened to mine, I went for the electric start, like I said, a bit too giddy, because obviously we needed to get
I'm
moving.
here with Paul Bolton, whose race appears to be over. Paul, what happened?
Yeah, somebody pulled in from the left-hand side and just completely took me out. I couldn't see with my goggles, and I was just about pulling one off, so I only had one hand on the handlebars. Just absolute bad timing, and I'm just gutted because I've done so much preparation for this race and felt so strong. One more go now. We've had the plug out 3 times.
Yeah.
She's teasing me every time. Come on, baby.
Did it fire, Bolts? Did it even fire?
No, it didn't fire because, like I was saying, I literally went a bit giddy on the electric start to try and get it going, and it must have done the reed valves. Well, it did do the reed valves, so it didn't. It was like kind of starting and then just not starting. So. Yeah,
and you know, it is Andreas, but you know, Jarvis already by this point really starting to come through the field. I mean, obviously everyone's under pressure from Graham Jarvis, aren't they, every year, but a second row start, and like you said, it was probably maybe almost to his advantage this year.
Yeah, that's it. Look at Big Letty there chucking his bike. He used to like a little launch every now and again.
How do the levers? You're lucky to finish with all your levers, aren't you, if you start launching the bike like that?
Yeah, it is a bit self-preservation with the bike, and you know, I do run some different handguards for that kind of stuff, and a lot of the riders don't like it, but I've seen it when they've knocked the perch off and things like that, and it does help a lot with certain things. So, but this is
machine, right? The start. Machine. Yeah, and this is the start of no help. From here onwards, you're on your own. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. And obviously, because as the level's been progressing in hard enduro over the last few years, and tyres have been getting better, and bikes have been getting better, everything, and the riders have been getting better, we're actually turning where that camera guy is there now, and it's left turn up into the rocks and a bit more.
And here's Grimbo, Graham Jarvis on the Sherco, is he there? Is that right?
No, that's the Husserberg. That was the first.
Oh, Husserberg, excuse me, yeah, thrown by the blue and yellow.
I know. That's Johnny, that, isn't it? So
yeah, that's Johnny about to get by him.
Yeah, after just having a little bit of a... Who's that with the ride? That's the ride of his life right there, isn't it?
Look at that!
It's Cervantes.
and he's not really a hard enduro rider, is he, Ivan Cervantes? I had him down more as like the, you know, like a World Enduro Championship. Is he really? What was he like at these Cervantes? He's spectacular in the air.
Yeah, well, obviously he was mega. He was getting the gas on at the bottom of machine there, and that's the thing with some of the rock sections. You hit it 10 times, and you get it right 9. But then you can have an absolute nightmare one time, and it just costs you all your time and energy. So. This section's still in now, and those routes are ginormous these days.
The crooked elevator, that roughly translates to. Look at it. I mean, it is a crooked elevator. I don't even.
Absolutely.
On the start line, Paul, is it? Do you know you're in for like the roughest couple of hours of your life? Is it a daunting prospect, the rodeo, the hair scramble?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is like the boys said before. It is sort of the pinnacle of your riding, and now it's live on Red Bull TV, and it just amps the situation of riding now. So you just literally you want to do your best you can because everybody's watching, and we're obviously all training our best for it in our own personal ways that we do best, and yeah, you just want to give it all because it's so spectacular.
And there's Jarvis up to second place. There's Alfredo Gomez. Different line up there. I mean, it must be incredible to ride at Bolt as well with the opportunities of taking different lines. I mean, there must be so many things. And does it get easier the more you do it? The Ersberg is having experience must be vital to you, isn't it, as a racer?
Absolutely. You get used to different things. You know sort of where you are on the track, but the track organisers always like a surprise here and there, or a new hill, or if an older hill's got a bit too easy, they just tip a load more dirt over the top. So it's chaos every year, but you definitely need the experience. The biggest
not too
thing,
easy
Rob,
for these poor amateurs, is it? Look at this. I mean, you know, and this is, let's be honest, there's you pros that it's almost impossible for, but most of these amateurs, or nearly all of them, they're not going to get to the end, are they? I mean, it's just, they battle to see how far they can get. It's so hard. Look at it.
Well, that's it. They've all watched it on TV, and they want to come and challenge themselves and see how far they can get. But the biggest shock to them all is the biggest shock to everybody is usually how fast the prologue is, and even like fast motocross riders can come, and because it's so unique, the prologue, they don't do half as well as they were expected. So, but you need to be in that first 50. It's the key, really. But unfortunately, Jarvis is proving at this race that when it's flooded, you need to be on the second row.
Yeah, that's right. And that prologue you're talking about, one year someone hit 193 kilometres an hour up there, you know. Who was it? I can't remember off the top of my head. 195 kilometres an hour on the prologue. It was on the... Wow. Who was it rode the special bike that was made just to go fast up there? Can you remember? I can't off the top of my head.
I'm not sure, but back in the early days of the Ersbergrodeo, they had the twin race, so they used to go up on twin cylinder 900s and all sorts of stuff, and it was epic. The speeds they were doing were frightening. I saw the first few, and it was awesome to watch.
Yeah.
But
is this Carl's dinner now, Paul?
Yeah, this is the start of it. I think we've just dropped in from the backside there, and this is Jarvis just coming up on the back of on Big Letty. So he's just having a little bit of a scenic tour through the trees here. So,
well, you're only going to wait for someone so long, aren't you? Look at it with the snow on.
Absolutely.
I mean, look how hard it is.
Yeah, you need to make progress when you can, and this is now where Jarvis, he literally, I've walked it a few times with him. He walks backwards and forwards over over Carl's dinner, and actually it's not Carl's dinner. I'm going to tell a lie. Sorry, the other bit wasn't then.
Oh, okay.
This is Carl's dinner now. So, yeah.
And you know, mentally, it's quite early in the race usually, isn't it? But you know, is this the toughest bit? Do you have to prepare yourself? Because, like, mentally, this must be so frustrating to push a bike through here. I don't know how you do it, to be honest.
Yeah, like I was just saying, then Graham goes backwards and forwards, and he actually GoPros it and
does he?
Watches it for line choices and things like that. Yeah, but
and do you think that when he's in the race, he can actually? That's what I was going to say. I mean, you get there. Are you actually likely to even have a clue where you actually are in the lines you want, or is it just a matter of just battling through it?
Yeah, you can usually see. Usually, when you're walking it, you're looking for like key areas of the rock section. You know, you just don't want to be dropping into any like major holes or traps where it might look like one of the older lines is leading to like a deep hole or something. So you need to keep looking ahead and just trying to keep that front wheel out of the small holes to not stall it and then tipple over and just have one less lift on the bike. You know, it's all about keeping them wheels turning.
Is there any way you can practice for this, Bolts? Have you got places near you where you literally go and ride, basically get stuck in a boulder field? I mean, yeah, what a day out! Who isn't looking forward to that? But is that something you do?
Yeah, you try and mimic it the best. We've got some quarries in the UK that we can go to up in the north, but literally, if Graham still lived down south of England, where he grew up, he wouldn't have a rock mine like that. That's for sure. Have to go up north for that stuff.
Look at the scale of it, mate. You know, when I went in to commentate that year, I was just blown away by the sheer size of everything, and Carl's dinner especially. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. You can't believe it, can you, when you're there?
No, you can't. And Rob, they keep adding sections to it, and as riders,
go back and forth now and stuff.
Yeah, it's going backwards and forwards on each tier, and literally they add in sections to make it longer here and there, and you're walking it going, how have they found this new section on here? And it just, wow, you're in there for such a long time now, but every year it's astonishing how fast we all get through it.
Yeah, exactly that. There's an aerial shot coming up that shows the length of it, and you'd think it'd be like a day to get through it, but you know, you do the whole thing in a couple of hours usually. It's unbelievable. Jarvis opened up a 7-minute gap here to Andreas. Is this the key to Jarvis' success? I mean, he went on to win this one and 5 others. Is this where he makes most of his time, Graham?
Yeah, like I was just saying, it's about them wheels turning. You can see just Andy's just stopped there for a split second, and yeah, he's looking for a line, so he doesn't want to go the wrong way. But Graham will just keep it rolling all the time, and that's where he just makes a couple of seconds here and there all the way along, and that's where it matters. But also,
I must just say, hang on, Bolt, I better just say this because Taddy's a guest in a minute or two, and he's had 5 wins. Graham has had 4 wins plus this one, a total of 5. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't want to be annoying the other guest. You know what I mean? But
absolutely, yeah. Don't ruffle Taddy before he's on.
No, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, no, he knows his way across the dinner as well. But from Taddy's first Ersberg to now, it's a completely different race. But he's back and he's loving it and doing really well at it also. But this is Johnny just coming down into the dinner.
And Johnny, you know, the Ersberg kind of started his hard enduro career as well, didn't he? I think he had a podium and literally drove from the Ersberg from the Red Bull Hare Scramble to KTM, and they signed him up.
That's right. Yeah, he was gutted at the end of this race because he obviously had a little bit of bad luck, and I think he was really hungry for a win here, and he could have done it. And obviously, with the pressure of joining the factory team, etc., he was a bit.
He won it the year before, hadn't he? I suppose. So you know, yeah, that's right. He was the favourite coming in, I guess.
Absolutely, and obviously another year on with experience, and yeah, he's another smooth rider, very good at all-rounder, very fast on the fast stuff, and very fast on the technical stuff, and that's the key to hard enduro. You can't just be good at one thing. You need to be good at everything. He could be just fiddling with his clutch there because he's dropped it before and he's broke a lever or something.
Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it? But it must be really nice to have a hydraulic clutch like you've got on the KTMs, that you know you don't get that burn. You're not constantly adjusting it because the clutch is working hard in Carl's dinner here and getting hot. Look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. They get the factory boys also, and a lot of other people. It's all available to anybody, and they actually run a different slave cylinder, a mass cylinder, and it makes the clutch slightly lighter again, and then there's different settings you can do on the clutch that make them a bit lighter also. So, but on the big climbs, you don't want it to be slipping.
No, that's right. So you've got to have some bite there. It needs to be semi-stiff. Here's Alfredo Gomez in the main picture there, working his way through. Look at it, man. It's. Yeah, I mean, you know, and
you
Gomez,
just see him almost getting toppled off to the right then. He just hooked up on his chain guide and on his left foot peg, and it was just trying to pitch him off to the side. And at times the drop's too big. So yeah, Graham being as efficient as always.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, not you know. Obviously, he's 5-time a winner of it, but I'd imagine that Graham's not probably. Does he train hard in the gym, or does he just get on and do it? I mean, what I'm saying is he probably needs to be clever and look after his shape that he's got, his energy for this race, because he's not the youngest out there either, even at this point.
No, nobody knows what Graham does.
Don't they? Is that right?
No, he's a secret fox, is Grimbo. But yeah, he's just working himself nicely up, getting himself lined up into these little sections at Dynamite. And I think there was that section he'd just come round was a new bit, so there was obviously no line, nobody had been there and prepared it, because the track managers put in little surprises so nobody can go and prep a little line or something like that, because they want it to be fully natural and nobody can go messing around with the track. I
mean, you know, he won last year. He's now 45 years old, Bolts. Can he carry on winning?
Oh yeah, he can definitely get a few wins here and there. You know, that's the good thing about hard enduro. You just need a little bit of obviously luck on your side, and you can still do really well and get some really good results. It's not just about being the best all the time, because you've just got to make smart decisions, and a lot of it that we ride is blind, so you don't get to see everything.
And here he is at the top of Dynamite. I mean, look at it. There's no traction. That's why I'm asking. I mean, no matter how much skill you've got, at the end of the day, it comes down to a lot of pushing. Look at that man. Like, no one can help him. He's got to get through that arch there at all costs. And I don't even know from there how you're going to do it.
No, he's just taking little bits at a time, and actually little sections like this get slightly easier because he's first through.
And he'll put a little ledge in.
Yeah, so then the next guys can get a bit more of a ledge, and especially when it's wet. Some of the hardest Ersbergs, especially on the open faces, have been when it's really dry, because especially the downhills are so slick coming down, you've literally nothing to bite in on the tyres. So some of the downhills that we do here are just insane, Rob, honestly. You're just a passenger on your own bike.
Right, I'm going to tell you now, Bolt. That year I went, which was 3 or 4 years ago now, I walked along to the drop into Carl's Dinner, and I honestly stood there for about 10 minutes looking down this vertical rock-strewn bank, like trying to get my head around. I was like, what are they going to do? Just like throw the bikes down this? Oh no, they ride it. And I was like, no way. It blew my mind. Here's the amateurs still battling a little bit further back, Bolt.
Yeah, this is at Three Kings. One of the most fun uphills on the whole race, probably. Now I think it's called Dryconig now. So it's epic. Second gear. These days it's second gear going in because there's not a real good run in, and then you're actually clicking third going up the thing. It's insane. The bike's just
no way. That's a gear change you don't want to miss. Look at that.
Exactly. But yeah, going back now, you'd actually start from there. In that part of the forest, there'd be good grip. It's when there's just the dirt.
Is this the year? Is this one of Dougie's? Was he still doing the hair scramble at this point? Dougie Lampkin, or has he had a big?
Yeah, Dougie drowned his bike also at the beginning, and then I think there was one of the track markers sent him off a bit of a drop, and he ended up getting wedged in a hole somewhere, and I don't know if he finished this race or not, because he had quite a big crash somewhere.
And another year, while he was laid out with, I think it was heat exhaustion, with his helmet off, didn't a big rock come down and hit him on the head? Anyway, more of that in a minute. Here's Graham taking his first ever Red Bull hair scramble win. Look at that.
Yeah, and still got enough energy to do a proper wheelie as well. But
yeah,
Rob, what I think's the most crazy thing about this race is that he's still got his boil in the bag waterproof jacket on. Like, how hot is it when you have to wear them?
That's right. Yeah, look at that. He hasn't took that bin liner off start to finish.
Yeah.
You know, and in 2011, of course, he was disqualified for missing part of the route, one of the checkpoints. But this must have felt nice. Of course, it did to anyone to win this.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a long time coming, and he really deserved it. You know, he is still probably the biggest legend in hard enduro. You know, with the amount of different event wins and what he's done for the sport as well. And
mate, you know, Paul, we know how good he was at motorcycle trials. He was never world champ, but you know, he lived a little bit in the shadow of Dougie, I suppose. But like, it's nice to see him go on and be at the top of hard enduro. He does, like you say, he really deserves it, doesn't he? He's an incredible motorbike rider. Yeah, absolutely. He, like you said, Rob, he never had the best tackle either in trials, as you know. No, and right. he rode some of the. You know, the bikes were good, but they weren't as good as the other riders he was competing against. And I think that has helped him a lot to these days now, where he didn't have the best setup, but he just had to work round things and make things happen. After that 4-stroke Sherco trials bike, he definitely knows how to throw a big bike about. You know what I mean? that was it. That was a big unit. Here he is. Then here's Andreas at the top. Where is this Dynamite? Is it? Yeah, this is at the top of Dynamite. So I don't think there was another section after this. So I think they knew there was just a couple of steep downhills that you always get down the downhills, as you know, Rob. And then they were back down into the quarry. Now there's another section called Lazy Noon, and you've seen Cody Webb a few times launch his bike onto the top of that bit. Cool. But yeah, see how Big Letty got a bit more help from the bike that time, and that back wheel's just on it, getting a bit of a better ledge every time. There's no water in that carb. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you go for it bolts in this race, or is it a big part of it is that you just look after the bike as well, or is it literally just throw it at everything?
you've got to go in with control. Obviously, I was pumped for this year, really was. I'd been riding well and been gaining a lot of experience. So yeah, me and Andreas were battling quite a lot at this time. Yeah, and you've got to go in and get on with it as best you can. But yeah. You've just got to send it where you can, but be cautious as well. This was before. This is under what's now green hell. This is completely full now. It's covered over. This was a hell of a section.
Look at it, Johnny Walker there, struggling with it like everyone else. I mean, yeah, it's. I can't actually get my head around how you deal with that really and don't give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is one of the worst things when you drop to a section like this and you go, oh, he must be nearly there, and then you just go and see this. And you're like, right, oh, he's got a good drive. Oh, he's passed him.
Yes, look at that. So Gomez up to third now then. You know, yeah.
Oh, he's trying to fill him in as well. Look.
Well, any which way you can. Look at that, big nose wheelie in.
Get in. Yeah. Yeah, he's happy with that result. Really good result for Big. He nearly went back down the tyre there. After all that.
That would have been a bit much at this point, wouldn't it? Eh?
Yeah. Yeah. But
he's
what
some rider,
Rob,
isn't he? Big Letty's unreal, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He was an animal. But you literally can't believe what it feels like to get to this finish line and sort of the pressure around the race leading up to it and what's going to happen, running scenarios around in your head, etc. And then literally when you get there, it's like, yes, we've done it. It's all that training, all that work you've done in the lead up to it, and you get to the finish. Because that's the goal for everybody at the beginning, and then after that you want as best result as you can.
Look at it. Gomez battling. Yeah, what a fight it is, isn't it? It's just crazy to watch. It really is. It's the ultimate to me to watch this. You know what I mean? This is why. Look at it, dude. Look where he's going. He's like a mountain goat. How's he getting up there? It's unbelievable.
Well, that's the last fight for the podium, isn't it? Obviously, Johnny can see Gomez up there, and he's thinking, I need to just get him. Anything can happen. One little slip from Gomez now with that little rock stuck under the linkage there. He's going to be dropped down, and he's down there, and he's got to get back up, and then that's when Johnny can just come through and take it. So, yeah, but he's looking strong. And
there he is. There's Johnny.
Yeah. So they'd be.
And this puts into perspective
right
Jarvis's. And it does put into perspective Jarvis's, dominance. 18 minutes he won this one by. 18 minutes. How does he find 18 minutes? Just by not getting stuck, I suppose.
That is the key, yeah. But literally, it sounds a lot of time in most disciplines, but actually, 18 minutes is just, like I said, one little tumble back down something, and you have to get back up again. So it's a lot of time, and you don't want to be losing it, that's for sure. But it's easy to lose.
Yeah, that's right. That's hard enduro, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you can hear the ambience from the beer tent behind there. Everybody kicking off in there at night.
Oh yeah, they're sliding on the tables, aren't they? There are a lot of tired faces after that one. That was Gomez's first ever podium, actually. Finish at the Ersberg and podium.
Yeah, that was his first sort of big get on the scene.
And you've had a top three at Bolt. We shouldn't forget that, should we?
Yeah, back in 08, I was on the podium with Taddy and Big Letty. So yeah, it was on a really Honda CR250. Screaming Eagle.
The Screaming Eagle. And Bolts, last year you were out with an knee injury. How are you getting on with that? You must be ready to get back and get racing, ain't you?
Oh, I'm chomping at the bit, Rob. I've been mountain biking loads and training where I can, obviously with the bike in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, bikes are working well. Got a new setup with all the power homes. We're on different bikes now. And yeah, great. We're working. Everything's going in the right direction, and just can't wait to get back to it, mate. To be honest.
I know you can't. Well, we got a couple of questions here from social for you. We got one here from Dan from the UK here. What's the perfect bike setup for a very wet day in 2013? I don't know if you're the dude to answer this. You didn't make it out the start hole.
I know what the perfect ride should be. Don't crash in the first turn.
And lay it under 3 feet of water.
Yeah, no, it's obviously what happened to my bike was nothing you could do, but plenty of air filter oil on your air filter, trying to cover up as many bits as you can where you can to stop the water getting in. But literally, it was just a freak. Like I think you said before, Rob, the only bike for Ersberg that year was a jet ski.
That's right. That would have been the best one. And we got another question here as well from Hubert in Germany. Give me your favourite Ersberg memory.
It was definitely a podium in 08, and since then I've been sort of trying to chase that again. So yeah, that's the best for me.
Wow, that's it, mate. Well, what you'll look on that back on that forever, won't you? I mean, it's what an accomplishment to get a top 3 there. Last question. I would love to, Florence from France. I would love to get started in enduro. What bike would you recommend? I think I might know what it will be.
Well, they're all good now. The bikes. There's every manufacturer's got a good bike. There's definitely 4 major brands, and I think it's obviously KTM, Husky, and Sherco and Beta. They're the bikes that we touched on before. They've got electric starts and they've got hydraulic clutch, and they're the key things that you need. So, and we need them Jap bikes to get on it, to get catched up, and them get involved in well.
Yeah, Miguel from Spain. What's the difference between your production bike compared to the full factory KTM's?
Not too much really, but them guys have just got a lot more resources around them at the events, which is quite hard for me. Obviously, because we only go in our van and we travel there, and we can only take what we can take. So it's actually more the resources they've got to change something when they get there over everything else. But it's the out of the box bikes are still pretty good, and the key thing to hard enduro is your rear tyre and moose choice, to be honest.
Is that right? Yeah, I can imagine. Grip is absolutely everything, isn't it? Yeah. Paul, we're gonna leave it there. It's been incredible to look back at that with you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Rob. Glad you've enjoyed it.
Look forward to seeing you back in action, mate, as soon as we can.
I can't wait.
All right, Paul. Thanks very much. Well, talking of Bull getting back in action, the WESS series, which has been postponed like everything else this year, is supposed to be starting again at the end of July. So fingers crossed that's going to happen. It's looking like a 4-round series at the moment. Like I say, everything up in the air. Check the website for details. And I'm going to get my next guest in now, which is the man himself, the World Enduro Super Series Ultimate Enduro Champion, Manny Lambichler. How are you, Manny?
All good, and you?
Looking at 2015.
And we're going to be looking at the 2015 Erzbergrodeo Hair Scramble. You ready for it?
I hope so. It was what I remember, and what my dad told me about this was a crazy year, So I'm definitely excited to watch it again. It was. Well,
I don't want to make this one awkward for you, but your dad gets a win, and some other members of the family haven't done it yet, so we'll just leave that there.
Okay. I'm already on my way, like trying my best the last couple of years, and it just won't happen. Now, it was super...
You've been close, mate. You've been close.
Yeah, I've been close. Now, it was a super hot year, what I remember. We can see already at the start. Planes are flying in. It was such a brutal year. I think it was around 30 degrees or something like this, And we just see the completely different part with the 2013 race where there was rain everywhere, So
would you rather it like 2013? Go on, Manny. I say, would you rather the conditions like then, or a day like this, or is it so hot today it makes it really difficult physically?
I would say I would probably prefer like a wet kind of situation, because there we can see all the dust. Yeah.
Look at the dust, man.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's one of the most terrifying prospects ever, to fire a bike into that.
Yeah, it's just so brutal. Like, I remember myself and my dad was also involved. Like, we crashed all together into the start because we couldn't see anything. So the first guy where we can see Johnny right now, he was just pulling away with such a good speed, like no dust in front of him, which was such an important thing,
Massive advantage at this stage, isn't it?
Yeah, totally massive advantage, especially There we can see Teddy, you know, he had a big crash and falling into the riders and everything. So
look at this. This is huge.
Yeah, this was an insane battle for the whole shot, I would say. In extreme.
This was his comeback year, wasn't it? Really? This is when he came back.
Yeah, this was his
after
comeback year.
The Ersberg.
Yeah, it was such an important thing, you know. Yeah, Teddy is back, you know. Everybody was talking about it, and it was such a bummer, you know. Like, he crashed in the first uphill and had to quit the race, but it's part of racing, I would say. Anything can happen.
And thankfully, I think he walked away from it, didn't it? It could have. It was a big accident, so you can always take that from it.
Concussed.
Yeah, he walked away.
Concussion,
nothing
actually.
too serious.
He had a concussion.
Yeah, he had a concussion. Nothing too serious, which was super good. But yeah, for sure it's a bummer, you know. Like, I think he would be also good in this year, and he was always riding really good at this event.
And we'll be bringing Taddy in to look at the 2016 race after this one. So Johnny Walker out front and on the move here through water pipe, isn't it, this bit?
Yeah, it's water pipe. They also changed it to the last couple of years, you know, and like Paul already said, you know, like if it's wet, the dirt is so much better compare when it's dry, you know, because it's just so much more grippier, and there we can see how we always sliding our way, you know, in the dust.
Start for the amateurs.
So here's the amateurs. Yeah. Luckily the dust has cleared from the previous riders, but if you're not in the first 15 or 20 over the top of there, I don't know, yeah, that's horrific.
Yeah, that's just brutal, you know, like I know that so many guys just crashed there and it was so scary, you know, so for me it always a big advantage if you're already in front, and also if there's rain, like you always just prefer rain because dust is just insane and you have to slow down so much.
It's gnarly, isn't it? Dust is almost the gnarliest thing. It's horrible. It's
horrible, yeah, and with the amateur riders, you know, there are a couple of fast guys also, and they just hit the first uphill and can't make it, and then fall into the other riders again. So it's insane with them amateur riders, especially in the dust.
Yeah, it's just carnage. Yeah, absolute carnage. I should think you could choke out in that much dust as well. Look at it everywhere.
We're back.
Just pretend not to happen.
Yeah.
So Johnny Walker leading on. Look at the scale of it. Do you enjoy going up those big hills, Manny? I mean, it must be one of the highlights of the year, and it just firing the big 300 up those.
Yeah, totally. It's always nice just to send them all the way up. Yeah, we just see Johnny right now in machine. It's super loose, you know, especially if it's like so dry. It's just so much harder and really loose. But he was riding really strong this year, and he had such a good race, what I remember.
Yeah.
It was definitely a brutal year, and he was riding really good at this point.
Well, he's won it. You know that you don't win this without being amazing, do you? No amount of luck's going to get you the win at this race. That's for sure. Yeah,
totally. Like I know exactly. You know, like lost it last year to the man himself, Grimbo Graham. You know, it's definitely hard, but yeah, he was riding better at the end. But yeah, we can see already. You know, like Graham and my dad also, and I think Wade Young, he had also a really good start this year. He was also a really young rider at this point. But
where are you at this point, Manny? Are you back a little bit, or?
I was a little bit back. I wasn't too far back, maybe around 10th. Like, I had a really good race actually, until I made a stupid mistake, I would say.
Did ya?
Probably, yeah. Probably we can see it later on, I guess, because it's just an iconic moment. But yeah, it's part of the game, you know. I would say I'm gonna wait until I can tell you the story, guys.
Well, we might see it yet. And this is the start of the no help zone. What does that mean to you as a rider, Manny?
Yeah, totally. You know, like you come in and you're like, now the real stuff is gonna happening. You know, and oh my god.
Oh,
yeah, I remember
cameraman down.
Yeah, cameraman down, Kenny. Coburn, he's always at the events with us as well, so he knows it that a bike can fly sometimes. So probably was a little bit prepared, but yeah, this forest was super steep, and they made it.
And this, right? I think this, Manny, might be what I looked at one year when I was commentating on it. I mean, this is nearly vertical. You can't actually. I couldn't believe you were going to ride a bike down that. It's insane.
Super gnarly. Like when we came in and when I dropped down there, I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna ride down this. Like, I have so much respect to, like, I think Johnny, Graham and Alfredo, like they all literally rode it down. But
it's insane.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just push your bike down and be safe. Save the bike.
Yeah, it could go wrong fast. I mean, it's literally like riding down a cliff face. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And Carl's dinner, how's this for you? I mean, you come, like most of these top riders from, well, all of them, I guess, really, from a trials background. I mean, it must be a big help just to get through this place. Look at this.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like, every year when I come back to Ersberg, you're like, oh my god, what is it for a crazy place, you know, to race there, and especially Colstini, you know, like the last couple of years the level got so much higher from everybody, and they tried to make it so much longer also now Colstini that we go 3 times through there, through the rocks, and always through the biggest holes. So yeah, it's a really hard one.
And you could see Johnny boiling the old bike up there. Look at that's exactly that wouldn't even feel safe to come down it like that. Look at that. Who's that riding behind?
Yeah, that's Alfredo.
Wade Young riding it.
Yeah, my dad was like, he told me already before the race, if something is super steep, just push it down. You know, we can see he is actually doing really well, and I think he's also passing Alfredo again.
Yeah, you're right. So it's not Wade, it's Alfredo. Yeah, look, you're right, Alfredo. Yeah. Oh my god, look at that dude.
Yeah, but he was like, he told me about this, and he was like, sometimes it's just better to push it, you know, and be safe, you know, like you can crash so easily in them loose rocks, and especially if it's like so dry, because it's way looser than expected.
And look at that dude, Andreas there in 3rd place. He is an animal, your dad, isn't he? No doubt about that.
Like, he's such a legend, you know. I'm also calling him boss because he's just such a boss. So he's a good lad. He's definitely a good lad.
And you were the youngest ever finisher the year before, right? You made it to the finish line at just 16 years old, Manny. It's insane.
Yeah. It was insane this year. I remember 2014, I just cramped up everywhere, but I was also so happy, you know, like came into the race and had no expectations, and at the end, like just finishing this race, it meant quite a lot to me. So it was a good year, and then I come into 2015 and was like, we will get it now, you know, like we were like on fire, and we want to be better than the year before. And I struggled a lot with the heat, if I'm to be honest. Like, I struggled.
Did you really? Yeah,
totally. I think everybody did, you know, and this year was so hot, and also them front runners, you know, like Johnny, Graham, my dad, Alfredo, you know, they're also slowed down a little bit in Colstina, because the rocks sometimes just save the heat, and they like it feels I would say 10 degrees warmer than outside of Colstina.
Yeah, that's right, all radiating up, and of course, you know, you got like a helmet on with no breathe holes in it or anything. You're just cooking. Your head is cooking, isn't it?
Yeah, your head is cooking, and you're also going so slow, you know, in Cortina. That's also the biggest problem. You have like no wind what's coming through or anything.
Talk about the amateurs.
Yeah,
How big
they're
a
the
part of the
amateur
event?
riders, you know.
They're a big part of it, eh, Manny? The amateurs, they kind of make the event, don't they?
Yeah, totally, you know, like, I would say without them it wouldn't be Red Bull Erzbergrodeo. Like, it's just so cool to see them firing up, and they try it every year again and trying to just come as far as possible. And you can't believe, you know, sometimes if you're going through the pits and there are people going so crazy, and it's just such a good atmosphere. It's more like an off-road, like the biggest off-road festival, I would say.
Yeah, that's right, it is. It's a 4-day festival of motorbikes. If you like motorbikes, you need to go to the Ersbergrodeo. It's like, it's the Wild West. When I rolled up there, I was just taken aback by the fact that there were thousands of motorbikes just going in all different directions, basically doing seemingly whatever they wanted. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's completely such a mess, you know, in the race, off the race, you know, they're just so fired up.
It's probably a nice one to get home from and have a shower, I'd imagine, after this. There's the amateurs battling, man. Look at, he's got up there well, though. Look at that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we can see already one guy, he get pulled from a rope or something like this. Maybe from another rider. Maybe they teamed up and were like, yeah, we're going to help each other. Can be also.
Is that what
sometimes.
they do? Do the amateurs actually do that? They kind of work in teams, some of them, do they?
Yeah, totally. Some of the riders, they literally bring a rope to the start line and take it with them on the backpack, yeah?
No way!
Yeah, totally. And then they just pull each other up like the really hard sections.
No way! So it basically is rock climbing on motorbikes, just as I suspected.
Yeah, rock climbing on motorbikes. Sometimes you need a rope.
Flipping it. Have you? There's a lone 4-stroke. I mean, has it ever been won on a 4-stroke? Not many of you top guys run 4-strokes, right? Do you? If ever.
No, normally not. Like, I would say the proper bike is a 300 2-stroke. But yeah, we can see already. You know, my dad. I don't know how many podiums he got, but he was riding the BMW 450, and he also make it happening. You know, but.
Your dad was on the 450 BMW here?
Nah, not here. Couple of years ago.
In previous years before, yeah.
Yeah, I think from 2007 to 2010 or something like this. I'm not quite sure, but he was ripping it on the 4-stroke. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Probably with David Knight at the same time. Then was he teammates with Knighty on it or not?
Yeah.
Did David ride it earlier? He did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was teammate with Knighter and a couple of other guys. It was a cool project at the end from BMW to bring it into the sport, you know. But
absolutely. Where are these guys now, Manny? Getting back to the action here. There's a fair bit going on.
I'm not quite sure. Like, I'm probably I know. Like, they're off the Karl Steiner now. It was shortly before downtown when they came into this new bit where anything got wrong, I would say. So
yeah. Look at it.
Yeah,
dude.
there we can see already, you know, Alfredo and Graham are pulling already each other just to helping them out. It's a no help zone, you know, from machine on, so they teamed up. And
so no outside assistance, but each rider can help yourselves.
Yeah.
Riders can help each other. Riders, absolutely. Yeah. And here it is. Another. Who's that coming to join the party now? Then.
Yeah, Johnny Walker just came in, and yeah, at the end, you know, it was my dad, Graham, Alfredo, and Johnny who literally teamed up because there was no chance to go up there. You know, like now, like this part is completely filled with rocks. Like it's gone, I would say, but in this point it was also a secret spot where nobody knew that it's in and nobody tried to ride it before. Yeah. So
am I right in thinking that the organisers, this is something that they do, they chuck in a section that you wouldn't expect to be in, right, at the last minute? It's kind of, you really didn't know about it, you just turn up and you're like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah, totally. Like sometimes, you know, like we also sometimes just sneak around and try to watch a little bit, or just to check out the track or anything, you know. And at the end on Sunday, the track looks completely different because they just put tape in or just put a secret spot in where you have no idea, you know. And yeah, this was also, downtown was also a part of them secret spots. And yeah, it was a bummer. My dad told me about this, you know, like they've been in there and they had no idea how to get up there, you know. And if 4 of the best riders think there's no way to go up, it's steep.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. When it's this hard and it's absolutely unrideable or even unmanageable on your own, to you, is it too much? I mean, do you feel like you should be able to do it on your own, really, Manny, or is this part of it?
Nah, I would say like this year was definitely way too much. You know, like can happen. You know, like everybody wants to make.
Johnny's on a rope.
Yeah, Johnny is on a rope right now, you know. Probably the guides or the fans from there just gave them the ropes. But yeah, it was, you know, like nearly half of the race they stuck in there, and they also the time, you know, was running out. So
yeah, because it's a 4-hour time limit, right? For the is that right for the hare scramble? 4 hours is cut off.
4 hours time limit, you know. Like Johnny just takes a sip because it was also with the heat, you know, like 35 degrees there, and you're like, oh my god. Yeah, my dad, look, like he told me about this, and he was like, he came into downtown and saw it, and he was like, oh my god, what?
And that gives you some idea of how steep it is, doesn't it? Look at it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Totally. And you know, like they can't, like from my side, you know, my perspective, I would say it should be still rideable, you know, and not 4 guys should pull one bike in one at a time, you know.
Yeah. I suppose you've got to push the boundaries sometimes to find out where they are, but yeah, this is, you know, I mean, it's a historic kind of end to this event as well this year. But and they haven't got it wrong again since, have they? Either, Manny. I mean, it's been pretty good since, right?
Yeah, they learned out of their mistakes, and that's really important, you know. Like, it shouldn't happening that 4 of the best guys help each other and try to get up a hill, and I know that they were super exhausted and were also super pissed, you know, because at the end, you know, like it's not racing anymore. They just,
no, that's right, isn't it? That's right.
You know, just take a sip, Red Bull or whatever, and that's not racing, you know. So.
Yeah, well, that's right. But in 35-degree heat, man,
it makes no sense. But, yeah,
it's just too hard.
It's just too hard. It happened, but I think also the organizers and the track managers learned out of it that it shouldn't happening again, you know.
Yeah, over an hour, like you said, they were stuck there, man.
Yeah,
just basically lifting bikes.
Yeah, there we can see my dad how exhausted he is, you know, like. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at him.
He's just out of energy, you know, like you race 1.5 hours and then you come into one spot and you just get stuck in there and have to pull bikes. It's so brutal and so physical as well because you're already so exhausted.
Do you get sections as hard as this in, say, Romaniacs or any other hard enduros?
Well, yeah, like I would say not as hard that you have to pull each other, but yeah, there are some really hard sections in Romaniacs. Like I would say myself, I would probably say that Romaniacs is one of the hardest races because it's just so long and it makes it so physical for your body as well.
Yeah, you've won it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
He's out. That's going to be a nice feeling, right? And then I believe they had to shorten the end of the lap here now. They cut a bit out, didn't they? So these riders could get in within the time limit, otherwise, as I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, they teamed up because, like my dad told me, they were just pissed and not really happy about this situation. And they were like, we don't gonna race it until the finish and don't gonna restart, you know, racing because it made no sense. So they teamed up, which was such a such a special moment, I think, for everybody, you know, like.
Well, that's
Johnny
right.
was
That's a
waiting.
nice thing that came out of it.
Yeah, totally.
Because
Which
this
was, I
event
think,
is around the camaraderie, isn't it? It is about even to see the pros help each other. I mean, that's on another level, but that's part of the hair scramble. Look at the size
it's
of that.
part of the hair scramble and also part of the sport, you know. It's just so camaraderie, and you respect each other so much, and also, you know, sometimes you need the help from another guy. So that's why I think it's not the same as with motocross, you know, where they just battle each other really hard, and at the end you just doing your thing. But here, you know, like you have to help each other sometimes.
Yeah, they're not all friends in the motocross paddock, are they? No, that climb, that George climb, was absolutely, it's unbelievable, the size of that. The scale of it blows my mind every time I look at it.
Yeah, it's the longest one of the Erzbergrodeo, and what a special moment, you know. The guys just waving to the camera and having a cool ride into the finish, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Damn right as well.
Yeah.
So 4 winners this year: Johnny Walker, Graham Jarvis, Alfredo Gomez, and Andreas Lettenbichler. Did I say his name right? You tell me.
Lettenbichler, yeah, it was pretty good.
Lettenbichler.
Yeah. Nah, they had to skip Lazy Noon, they had to skip Dynamite, or just shorted it up, you know. So like there were a couple of more stuff coming normally, but they just ran out of time, so they cut the track and make it shorter at this point.
They'd had enough, mate, hadn't they? By this point, it was time to call it a day.
Yeah.
Especially as you say, in that heat, you know. I mean, the heat is a massive factor in it.
Yeah. I got, you know, like we already saw the pictures in the 2013 weather part, because I took my helmet off, and I got disqualified at this point, which was not the best way to be in this race, but yeah, can happen, you know, like can happen. I was in Colston and it was just so freaking hot that I made a mistake, but now I would say I'm way more wise and made not a big mistake as like this.
So there they are. Yeah, you got DQ'd for taking your helmet off, I guess, because it was so hot, Manny. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you must have been. I know though. When you're suffocating though, it's pretty tempting, I should imagine.
Yeah. Yes, them 4 winners.
Yeah, Gomez has gone on to do it again, actually, in 2017. As is Graham, of course. What do you make of Graham Jarvis, Manny? I mean, you know, he's at the other end of the spectrum age-wise for you. He's incredible, isn't he, to win it like he does? 5 times now?
5 times now, yeah. And yeah, I have no idea how he's doing it. Already, like Paul said, we have no idea what he's actually doing, but he's just doing it, you know. So he is definitely, there we can see actually like all them wins from Graham as well.
There you go. Look at that.
Number of finishes.
And the number of finishes as well. 5 then in 2015. The lowest number of finishes, I guess, ever. Definitely in the last 10 years.
Yeah, totally. It was only them 4 winners, and Mario Roman also came into the finish like super tight. Like I think around 3 hours 49 or something like this before the time ran out. So 5 finishers is not really much from 500, I would say.
No. 1%. 1%. Right,
yeah,
we got a Q&A for you now. We got some questions in for you now, Manny. So here from Marcus, how did you find out about your disqualification? At the end, or did they tell you there and then?
No, I actually, like, I took the helmet off at like middle of Karlstina, and then I finished Karlstina, made like 2 more checkpoints, and then there was the checkpoint guy, and he told me, yeah, you can stop, you're disqualified. And was like, are you freaking kidding me? You know, like I was like, no way, but yeah, just fight with this guy now. But at the end, I was super bummed, you know, because I was 5th at this point and was actually right behind them. So it would be also a good year for myself, I guess.
Absolutely right. Let's get the next question in from Andre in the Czech Republic. Trying to come to Ersberg, what is it that makes it so special?
Because everybody is going there, you know, like it's just like we already talked about it, you know, it's just such a cool festival also, you know, like the vibes and like it's the most iconic race in the season, which makes it so good. And if you want to check if you're one of the best guys, you have to go to Ersberg because everybody's riding it.
And it, you know, even if you just go, the spectacle of the Iron Giant, of the mountain itself, like it's unbelievable. One from Daniel in Austria. Your dad's won the race. You haven't so far. How often does he brag about it?
Not really often. Like sometimes when we are just joking around at home, you know, or just talking about it, he's like, "Ah, yeah, you have to get another #1 trophy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying it, you know, like I'm giving my best the last couple of years." But yeah, it's definitely. He also told me about this, you know, like it's a win, but at the end it was also a weird situation, you know. So I'm trying my best to get another #1 trophy into the Lettenbichler house.
It's coming, dude. It's definitely coming. George from Scotland, how would winning the Erzbergrodeo compare to winning Romaniacs, which you have done already?
I would say it would mean also the same level, I would say. Like, it's definitely also one race to win, you know, like it's the most famous race in the world, and this is really important in our sport. So myself, like the achievement side, I would say Romaniacs is even a little bit more because it's just so much hard work and so much racing going on, you know, like 5 days of racing. And
big days, right? Early starts and all that, and it's...
Yeah, just big days, and you're just putting so much effort in that it works. But Ersberg is still on the list to win, and it's also the most important one to win as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's coming your way, I reckon, sooner or later, Manny. And we're going to say goodbye to you now for half an hour or so. I know you're going to come back and look at the 2019 race with me, but thanks for your time now, mate. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you again soon.
I enjoyed it. See you in half an hour.
Yeah, it's good fun. All right, mate. Sit up. I got a cup of tea.
Cup of tea, perfect.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's tea time. So we're going to now... One man definitely made this place his own. Taddy Blazusiak won the Ersbergrodeo, the hare scramble at the Ersbergrodeo 5 times in a row. And we're going to look at this next race with him. There's his first win back in 2007. And there's Taddy himself. Look at these. This is bringing back some memories, Taddy.
Oh, yeah, this is cool. Hey, guys, what's going on?
How are you, mate? All right?
Yeah, all good. Just watching myself back in the day, crashing Dynamite, I think it was.
The speed you went up there.
You know, you got it, right? If you got it, you got it.
How much better are the bikes now than they were then, Taddy? I mean, have they come a long way since 2007? I guess tyres and things like that, massively.
Yeah, you know, it's back in the day, you know, we raced like regular enduro tires, you know, so that was the biggest thing, you know, having like, you know, the tracks were easier because the tires were not as good, let's put it this way, you know, so the race was faster itself because the track was easier. I kind of enjoyed that, you know, when you could actually push and race the whole thing from, you know, from start to finish.
Win 2 in 2008.
But yeah, you know, the times have changed, you know, bikes got better, and it's like, it's more about getting through obstacles now than racing it as hard as you could. Yeah, that was me. A little style there, like, style check.
Serious hair colour coming on there, Taddy, back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, them years, they were all dry, but we never had, like, we didn't have that super soft compound yet, you know? So, luckily it was dry. But, you know, as you can see, you know, I was sprinting the thing, you know, from start to finish. Like, when the tracks were a little bit more racy back in the day.
Yeah. I can see it. You can actually, you've answered it perfectly. You can see that it's faster, yeah, because you just couldn't do the super tech stuff with those tires. That's right. Yeah, interesting.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Which I enjoyed a lot, to be honest. I like it, like, you know, I like it that way, that you had to, like, Yeah, a little bit more fluid, but you know, it's the progression. You know, tires got better, and maybe this is what the fans want to see. Like, fans want to see more technical stuff and everything. But I really enjoyed like just spinning. Like you see here, like, you know, it was about seconds. You know, just trying to go, you know, like world enduro, then, you know, get through Carl's dinner as fast as you could, and then again, you know, just going as fast as I could. Yeah, that one didn't feel good.
not a soft place to fall there, really, mate. That one.
Nah.
5 wins. I mean, this is your 4th win here. Do any of them stand out more than the others, Taddy?
Well, you know, like winning is unreal, right? Winning Ersberg is incredible. But you know what I mean? Like, there's so much rhythm and speed, like everywhere. All the sections were just you know, racing. But yeah, going back to what you asked, like, I think the first one is always going to be the special one because, you know, I came there, you know, with no expectations, and, you know, with you know, and we won it out of nowhere. And yeah, it's going to be definitely the one that was this, you know, the special one. Here with Mr. Pierre at the finish line in 2010, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the first one is going to be super special, and then winning all 5 was unreal. So awesome.
Yeah, well, it's unbelievable to do it back to back to back. It's about, you know, every year you must have been thinking this has got to end, hasn't it? But it just kept going.
Yeah, it kept going until 2011. You know, I won 11, and Graham was riding really, really strong, but he made this mistake and, you know, missed one of the checkpoints. And you know, since, like, to be honest, like the last 2 years, I believe, I was already like really focused on the indoor stuff. You know, like with X Games and everything in the picture. You know, it was so for me, like the hard enduro thing was kind of like a one-off Ersberg. You know, so it was getting tougher, like to, you know, to do it all. You know, so 2011 after that win, you know, we decided just to focus on the indoors because I was actually me and Johnny like had a good run in the beginning of that year. We had like. It took me like a good 25 minutes to drop him, you know. We're like absolutely world enduro, world enduro pace, you know, and then just rip it, man.
And I mean, you know, you won this 5 times. Let's not forget you enjoyed enormous success indoors. What, 5 times Super Enduro World Champion, and you won the AMA Arena Cross as well. How many times was that, Taddy?
Man, six World Championships. Don't take one away. It was a lot of work to get that 6th one.
Excuse me, oh my God, I'm sorry, dude. My bad.
No worries. Yeah, 6 times Super Enduro World Championship, and then I won 5 AMA Enduro Crosses. You know, and then no worries. It's yeah, I know. You know, it's there in the books anyway. It's there in the history, so it's not, you know. If you would dig in, you would find it. So yeah, going back to like, you know, like I said, you know, then all the X Games and everything came around. You know, but 1/4 of them gold medals, and it's so like it brings some you know, like brings some good memories watching it. You know.
And this is the ending there with Graham. He got over the line first, but like you said, it all kind of it got a little bit weird now because he'd missed the checkpoint, right?
Yeah, he missed the checkpoint. And it's a bummer because he was riding really good, you know, but I knew it happened, you know. I knew, like, when I got there, like, I got to Carl's dinner and they told me that he missed it, and I kind of, you know, I kind of controlled the gap behind me, you know, so, yeah, bummer, but...
Oh, it changed how you rode the rest of that race. Dougie's involved, mate. It's serious if Dougie's getting involved.
Yeah, Dougie's the man. He's like, you know, telling me what to do. I'm just standing. I'm like, all right, I'll just watch. Yeah, that's the checkpoint here, right here. You know, he missed it, but by not a lot. But at the end, the checkpoint is a checkpoint, right? So
yeah. So you actually went back over the mountain to like witness, to make sure everyone was happy, and it was like, there it is. That's what you missed. It was like that, was it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I know he missed it because, like, you know, the team told me that before, but I think it was about them getting back to the scene with Graham and that kind of explaining him what happened. Of course, you know, Ersberg is on TV, you know, live on TV, so it's not that hard to get the footage, like, when someone missed it, you know, because, well, we got a helicopter over our heads, so, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, it's hard not to, you know, get the right, you know, get, you know, like, the right video is going to pop, like, the second you want it. So, yeah, that was a weird weird year, and bummer for Graham, you know, because he rode really well, but like we said, you know, rules are rules, and yeah, was stoked on the 5th one, and the 5th win for sure.
And he's made up for it since, let's be honest. Well, let's have a look at the 2016 excuse me, Red Bull Erzbergrodeo, the hair scramble there with Taddy Blazusiak.
Yeah.
So 2016, it looks nice and sunny.
Yeah, it was a good year. You know, I think it didn't rain, I think, the night before. But yeah, the track was good. The track was prime. It was good. You know, it was after me crashing in 15, you know, in the first year with Johnny. So yeah, we're back this year. I had a surgery, like, done my thumb like few months before. It was still pinned. It was tough. It was a tough year that year.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like, I'm just watching it happen, you know. It already happened, but I'm excited watching it start again.
And what's going on here? Because is it a dead engine start and people have got their bikes running? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, back in the day it used to be that engine start, but you know, with that many bikes, you can't really control it. So there's quite a few guys that they're just gonna be like, you know, they're gonna have it on idle, and you know, so that's why they actually quit. Like the engine start is like motors on now and flag and go. So I think it just makes it more even, because you know, like drivers like myself, Johnny, or all the top boys.
So people would just sit there with their bike on tick over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sorry, Taddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, people watching me or Johnny or all the top guys, you know, they're gonna like just look at us, and so we, you know, that engine for us, but it's not that engine for the guy, you know, on the far end.
Yeah. It all goes on, mate, doesn't it, eh?
Yeah. Here we go. We're leading, so it's all good here, and
perfect.
But yeah, it was, you know, like I said, you know, it's been a while that I've been like really focused on other stuff and on sprinting and all, you know, on more motocross, supercross, super enduro, hybrid than hard enduro. But yeah,
and it's fun. Very different, isn't it?
Like,
and the indoor stuff's completely different, isn't it? I mean, this is more, most of this is more trials based, which of course you come from a trials background, don't you? But
yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, you know, it's very different. But for my riding style, like I love racing. You know, I just want to go all out. You know, this is what, you know, how I see racing a motorcycle. So yeah, like the indoor style is really different. You know, like being away from the sport for quite a long, you know, for quite a long time. When it comes to the hard enduros, you know, like the tires, you know, developed and everything. And I was kind of like off with all that setup, you know, because like the boys were running like different mousses and, you know, like almost trouse bikes, you know, and I showed up with my race bike, you know, with stiff suspension and, you know, bars all the way back and just, you know, just pin it. That was all was going through my mind.
And by this point, it kind of become more and more specialist, I guess, right? This hard enduro, like you said.
100%.
Yeah. Second row underway.
Yeah, you know, you know, the tracks got slower and more technical, so it was kind of like an adjustment I had to do, like since I've been, well, I've been back to the racing the WESS the last few seasons, and so it was like the adjustment, you know, like kind of slowing myself down and figuring it out, like this whole new hard enduro, more technical kind of riding than it used to be, you know.
Because you did have a little break, didn't you, Taddy? You took a year out, didn't you? Was it before this point or after this point?
That was right after this point. You know, I had like some health issues in 15, you know, so I was kind of like trying to rebuild myself, and you know, it's been like it's been a challenging few years, you know, and then in 16 I kind of like you know, I had some like I had great success, you know, with the outdoors, with the indoors and everything, and I got to a point when I didn't want to do it anymore, you know, and you know, so I called it at the end of 16 and took 17 off, and kind of found this lost love for racing, you know, that year that I was away from it. Like, this is what I mean, you know, I was racing the beast, right?
Sorry.
So yeah, no, I'm saying like that image we see right now, you know, it's me racing the beast, racing the Iron Giant, right? So, but anyway, going back to that year off, you know, so it was a thing, you know, that I really needed, and then you know, with the WESS being like the hybrid, you know, like getting all the disciplines together, you know, I think that's what enduro is all about. You have to be good, you know, in riding Carl's dinner in first gear, but you have to also be good in racing, you know, special tests. That's why I came back, and that's why I'm enjoying myself right now doing all that stuff.
Yeah, you really are. And you're doing well at it as well. 4th overall in the series last year. These amateurs, mate, they're in for a rough day out at the Ersberg, aren't they? I mean, there's quite a lot of them probably don't even get past the first big climb.
man, like them guys, they really love what they're doing. Like, man, if I would have like their technical abilities, let's put it this way, I would never line up. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt.
Oh my god, dude, did you see him just laid in that hole?
Man, this is definition of luck.
I agree.
So,
he did well there, didn't he? That could have ended a lot worse.
Oh man, like, it could have ended.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, but it's awesome. You know, like, them guys, they, you know, amateurs at Ersberg, and they just, you know, so important. You know, like, so good. Like, they just love it. They're the core of that sport, you know, of this sport. So awesome to see that they still, like, they get all the beating, you know, like, break their bikes and everything, that they come back every year. It's unreal.
Absolutely. Look at it. It's nothing like this, man. Nothing like it, is there?
Yeah, this is just, you know, this mountain in general is crazy. It's, yeah, like riding on the moon.
Yeah. And it is, it's still very much in use, which is, I suppose, why the course or parts of it change so much every year.
Yeah, they like Manny said, you know, they do like come up with all them new ideas, and they try to make it more and more technical, you know, and they're gonna like, you know, Cars Dinner used to be Cars Dinner, and right now it's like they divide it into 2 or 3 lanes, and you go backwards and forwards in first gear for like hour and 30 minutes. But hey, it is what it is, right? This is what them guys want to see, and this is what us riders, racers gotta race. So, you know, if you don't like it, don't race it.
No, that's right. Machine there, another tough part.
Oh yeah, like here, like, you know, you already like, this is where the sprint ends. Like, you know, this is where it gets a little bit more technical, and you have to be like, well, we're still sprinting it, but it's like, you know, it's getting more and more technical. Like you know, the slow drops and the speed drops, and then, you know, it just gets tougher and tougher.
Yeah, that's right. It gets more and more technical. Is it? I mean, it must be nice or is it difficult, tricky, challenging as a rider that you go from some really high speed sections into bits where you're definitely going to get off and push?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, you know, you like, especially like, you know, for me, that the first part was good because, like I said, I showed up with my race bike, you know, with my stiff suspension, like, with my fat moose at the back, and, you know, yeah, I felt good at the beginning of that race, and, you know, this is where we just watched Gray and just, you know, fly through, like, you know, went through it like nothing, and me struggling because of just, you know, having some issues with my setup. But yeah, it's big, you know, when you come in 6th gear tapped and then you go to first, it actually takes a little time to adjust. But yeah, it's cool about this event. Like, I love it.
Yeah, that's right. Incredible. Yeah, and of all the hard enduros, and you've done them all and won most of them, this is incredibly intense, isn't it? Is that the word for this one? Because, you know, it's just it's quite well, the speed you guys do it, it's quite quick, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man. Like the first 20 minutes, I think there is no other race where you go that fast. You know, like I'm like right after that, like right off the start, like we 6th gear tapped.
Why do so many legends go here?
And of course, it attracts some of the biggest names. Travis Pastrana's been there.
Yeah.
On a freestyle demo. Who's that?
I don't know, but oh, is that the famous Canadian?
Andy Bow?
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, it is.
I mean, it's such a big festival of sport, of motorcycling. We do get some big names there, don't we, on occasion?
Yeah, you know, Travis, you know,
Ersberg.
Yeah, like everyone wanted to, you know, to be part of it. Like, you know, Robbie was there. You know, we had Travis. You know, we had so many good guys. You know, it's such a cool event. You know, that no one wants to miss it. And then once they come over, they never want to go back.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think these guys. I don't think Robbie's been back, has he?
No, he said he will never ever go back. He will never. He said never ever.
Is that right?
Robbie, he didn't raise the hair scramble, you know. But yeah, no, he enjoyed himself. But he said like this is not me. But it's like not that. You know, he loved it. It was awesome to have him there for sure.
Yeah, I bet, mate. He'd enjoy it, wouldn't he? He like the rest of us. He loves motorbikes. Lucky he didn't jump off one of the cliffs or something. Danny Pedrosa, he turned up one year with a weird bike, didn't he? Is this the bike? Yeah, basically built for the prologue.
Yeah, that was last year. Was it 18 or 19? I think when that happened.
Yeah.
You know, he rode the flat track bike. It was like, I think that bike would be actually pretty okay, but it did rain quite a bit, and you know, you see like all the rocks, like loose rocks on the track. So he struggled to get this thing. You know, it was more of a. But anyway, the bike was cool. You know, like he had some fun.
It did look like he was on semi-slicks, probably weren't ideal. So there's Grimbo, Graham Jarvis, again leading through Carl's dinner.
In his element.
Is this the bit?
In his element. Yeah, his element, right? Like, he's just so good at it, man. Like, he loves, like, that stuff.
Is this where he wins it, Taddy? Is this, you know, is this like the longest, hardest part of the hare scramble? Is this where Graham really makes his time?
I think, you know, Graham's setup and the way he rides, you know, it's not like this section because he's, you know, mastered it so good. I think, like, his bike setup, and he can actually ride it everywhere. You know, because not everybody can ride, you know, bike that is that soft and trousery, you know. And he's got it all figured out, like, and he just, you know, flies through them rocks, like, because of the bike setup, because of what he rides, what he like. I think this is what he rides, and he feels super comfortable riding this kind of terrain, you know. So yeah, I think this is where he wins the race. He don't, you know, like. He preps his bike for that section. Yeah, it's set for that. And Cody Webb, I mean, you've battled with him in Super Enduro, in Arena Cross a lot. It was impressive to see an American get on the podium for the first time at Ersberg. A brilliant rider, isn't he? Yeah, it was a really good ride. You know, like I don't think he ever done it before, or maybe he did the year before, so he had like a little experience already. So
maybe
it was good to see.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he did. Well, I think he did. But anyway, yeah, it's, you know, second. Like, I mean, I think he finished second that year, which is a really good result, you know, the Ersberg. So yeah, awesome. Like, awesome to see Cody doing good at the Ersberg.
And look at that, dude. I mean, you actually go through that 3 times now. It's insane.
I know. It's like we're just going backwards and forwards, like, you know, each level, you know, like, so, like, no joke. I think it takes like about an hour. So you're stuck in the rock sort of in an hour.
And that's graft. I mean, that is graft, isn't it? That's hard work, man. That is. Just, you're putting it in right there. You're earning your money right there, Taddy.
It's so like mental, you know, because you go like, I don't want to do it. What am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah. Well, exactly. I imagine it's got to be like that. Yeah, because. You know, energy-wise, you're hurting, aren't you? Like, it's especially on a hot day. We just saw with Manny the 2015 race when it was like 35 degrees and people were just passing out in there. You know what I mean? It's horrific.
Oh yeah, you're definitely hurting. It's like kind of this like running a marathon kind of a thing. You know, like you know, you prep for it and you pumped at the start, and then like 20 minutes in, you're like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, and then and this is like basically the same. It's a sufferfest, you know, like you just like, you know, find your rhythm or speed that you can kind of maintain and then just, you know, plow through it. It's a pretty crazy, you know, part of that racetrack.
That's right. Yeah. And, you know, this is for the trials riders, isn't it? This bit, really? It's got to be.
Oh, yeah. Big times. Yeah, it helps. I mean, like Wade Young, you know, has got no trials background and he's still really competitive at this event. But, you know, having a trials background, I think, like big times, like he you know, he kind of figured out the way to ride an enduro bike and all them, you know, technical bits. So, yeah, awesome that he actually, you know, got it mastered. But I think trials background helps you with it's not real trials technique, but you use that clutch control, you know, so it helps you with maybe not working as hard as if you would not have that skill, if you know what I mean. Like,
gotcha.
Like, it helps you being like more smooth and like more calculated.
And more energy efficient. And I guess someone like Wade is so fit and strong that perhaps he makes up for that deficit just by being so physical. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just guessing, but
Yeah, it can be the thing, and to be honest, like he's smooth and good in them technical bits now. So
really,
he mastered he rides in a different style, like I would say, you know, but he still gets it done, like not pushing the bike. He still rides it, you know. So
incredible, isn't it? Really, that to master that, not having to come in from trials is something special, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at these amateurs, Taddy. There's a lot of, I'd say there's a lot of levers bought after this event. A lot of snap levers. I mean, look at handlebars.
Yeah, they just love it. Like, check this guy out. He's like, oh, this is so good. Like, he's loving it.
Demanding to be pulled to the top. Come on, mate, get me out of there.
Exactly. Such a challenge, I think. You know, like they just love it. They watch it on TV and then they go like, yeah, I know, I've done it. You know, it's. I think it's.
I entered it once. I entered it years and years ago. I did, and I broke my leg trying to get ready for it, so I never made it. But well, you know, sitting at home, when like hard enduro came along, and you were kind of part of it, right really at the start. It was like, it was all about the Ersbergrodeo and getting there to do it, wasn't it? It still is the hard enduro, really.
Yeah, this is me dropping back into Carl's dinner. I crashed in one of the sections before. Had to talking about levers. I needed I needed to replace my levers. That was I lost so much time. But like what you said, like I think it's the Ersberg, the race itself. It's because it's such a special place. You know, it's a mine. It's massive, but it's little at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like you can you know, it's all in this one mine. So you know, it's so TV friendly, right? So you know, the right TV production made this race massive, you know, and people really want to go and see and experience it. So this is exactly what you said. You know, you watch it on TV, you think I'm gonna do it, and then you break a leg.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't the first time either. Yeah, 180 people bring these pictures to us. But yeah, you're in about 4th here, I think, at the moment, and you're Taddy. Is that what I just saw on screen?
Yeah, I dropped in 4th there. I don't remember when I finished that year, but you know, like I remember. I don't remember. I think 6th or something. So yeah, like you know, like I remember like you know my bike wasn't going nowhere. Like you know, like I said, like I had no idea how to set up my bike after like being away for so long, and so made a few mistakes here and there, and yeah, but the thing was fast off the start.
You were actually 8th that year, I got to tell you, Taddy. 8th. I've just found it on a bit of paper there. Not bad though.
You just ruined it. I thought it was 6th. You just ruined it.
I've took a world championship off for you this afternoon. I've robbed you of 2 spots at the Ersbergrodeo. Sorry. It's the last time I get you as a guest. But yeah, we're at Dynamite now. I mean, if this goes well, I'd imagine it saves you hours, doesn't it? Is that Jarvis getting out in 1? Look at that.
Yeah, he got it like I said, you know, that year it did rain a little bit, so you know, like that the track was prime. You see, like no dust, the right amount of traction, everything. So you know, when your bike was on point, it was like a good year. Like you know, the track was spot on. So awesome. Like you see, like we just watched Graham going straight up. You know. Oh, I remember that.
First time
I know.
is in, isn't it?
Yeah, and I remember that I couldn't get to the top of Lazy Noon because I smashed my pipe, you know, like somewhere before, and the thing wouldn't pull, and I was like, I was there forever. Like we're gonna see that later. Awesome.
Taddy, I was going to ask you. I watched this the other day, and like, yeah, you're not doing anything wrong, but you don't get up. We should see it in a minute. So
yeah, we should see it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will.
Jarvis coming in for win number 3.
Good job, Graham.
I mean, he's 45. How old are you now, Taddy, if you don't mind me asking?
37 this year. I'm getting there, so.
Well, you're still 8 years better than him, so in theory, you could win another 8 before you get to Graham's age.
Oh, man. I don't think I'll last that long.
No pressure. No pressure.
No, but well, definitely, you know, I believe I can, like, you know, I'm definitely gonna go for another one. That is for sure. But you know, let's just not put any time frame on it.
No, right, okay, yeah, no pressure, man, no pressure. But you're flat out with the Super Enduro, right? I guess that's, you know, that'll be. Is that your next focus, really, or the WESS series that started, I guess, in end of July as well?
Yeah, it's all about the outdoors now. You know, like we've been testing and prepping in the last few weeks. You know, after like, you know, it's been a weird year, you know, like with all the lockdown and everything. It's everything's been on, you know, on hold pretty much. But yeah, now it's all about the outdoors, and you know, the bike's getting good. You know, like we got some new stuff coming, and I'm feeling good. So I really want to like give this WESS Championship another shot. You know, like last year I finished 4th, but you know, I had some issues at the last race in Getsen, and I was if that wouldn't happen, you know, I had a shot at 2nd. So you know,
look at this. We're
still there. Like it's just, you know, putting all the puzzles together.
You're right. Look at this climb, Taddy. What's it like when you don't get out of there? At what moment do you go, right, I've got as far as I'm going to go, it's time to start pushing? It must be so tempting just to throw it back down and have another go, isn't it?
Man, like this thing was just, I remember being, I broke my master cylinder clutch on the, like my clutch master cylinder, right? So the thing was like flopping just up and down, you know, I couldn't pull my clutch, and I remember like getting, you'll see me coming, I think this is me now. So I was in 4th of 5th.
This is the battle for 2nd place. That's Cody now.
No, this is Cody, this right? Is Cody. Yeah, so
you're coming, you're not far behind.
Yeah, I'm like 5th or 6th here, and then it just, I don't know, like took me like half hour to get to the top of this thing.
And Cody didn't get that far up that top. I mean, you don't go as far as trying to look after your tyres in this event, do you? Because those soft compound tyres, do you rip the knobbles off them? I mean, do you notice a difference in grip by the end of the event or not?
Yeah, 100%. You know, like especially like, you know, like I said, you know, I've been running like definitely too stiff setup for the race. So I had like I was actually just giving it gas, you know, beams everywhere. So by the time I got here, I had absolutely nothing left. So yeah, like Graham is so good about like with riding, you know, low RPM and just using traction and not, you know, overriding the bike. He's just he's just the best at it, I would say.
Yeah. So close. No cigar this time though.
And Graham got it like first time, right? He got it first time.
He did, yeah. He did.
Yeah,
he must have breathed a huge. Yeah, but I bet you've been there as a leader, haven't you, Taddy? I mean, when you've been leading, what's it like? The pressure must be unbelievable as a leader to not make a mistake and let someone just go by you. Webb in trouble.
Yeah, Cody like going for a little rodeo here. Yeah, you know, it's when you're leading, like it's when you're leading, you know, like you're in the zone, and sometimes, like, you know, when you're riding really good, setup's good, and you know you made no mistakes with bike, you know, with the bike setup and everything, it's just happening, you know, like just boom, 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 you're getting it done. So that was like, I'm pretty sure that was how Graham felt that year. It was just happening, you know.
Yeah, that's right. When it's going well and you can't do anything wrong, those are the best days, aren't they?
Oh yeah, like it's like, you know, everything seems to be easy, you know, when things are working.
Yeah.
But you know, when things are working is because you've done your homework, you know, the bike setup's right, you know, you're riding good, like, you know, when the bike setup's good, you're not wetting your tires, so you've got, you know, more traction than the other guys. So, you know, just to get all the puzzles in place is the biggest thing.
And incredibly difficult for an event like this with so many different types of terrain and different going in it all the way through it. Look, he's up it this time. Brilliant.
Oh, that's he got the ghost ride thing. Yeah, here we go.
It worked.
It did, yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Look at, whoa. Oh, just a kick. It's over.
Yeah, he almost got it, but.
Oh, he's going back down from there.
Yeah, I think this is like, it's around. I should come into the picture like sometime soon now. But yeah, Cody got at the top, and that was the pass for second. This is where Cody got second. He came like, he was like 5 minutes behind Alfredo before they got to the Lazy Dun thing, right? So
yeah,
it cost Alfredo second, like this hill.
Oh, he's up. He's done it. Yay!
Yeah.
Brilliant. Finally. Oh, what a nice feeling that must be at that stage of the game.
Oh man, after like 50 goes.
And there's Cody, who would be the first American ever to podium here at the Ersbergrodeo at the Red Bull Hare Scramble. Pretty incredible, really, isn't it? Because, again, why is it taking them so long, Taddy? Is it because, you know, America probably a little bit behind Europe for trials, where I guess most of your top guys come from?
Yeah, you know, Cody's got a good trials background, but I think
he does. Yeah.
He's got a good, like, competitive trials background. So, yeah, I think, you know, he just got into the hard enduro thing like a little bit later, you know, because of Endurocross and X Games, all that stuff being big in America. You know, like I said, when when my focus switched like from hard enduros to like indoors. So I think that's why like he really loves it now. He's really a hard enduro guy now. He loves it.
Yeah. He enjoys the pain and the champagne and the Red Bull.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good, right? Like, you know, second here was brilliant. It was awesome.
Of course, that's right. Yeah, a finish for most mortals. And there's Gomez, who would win it the next year, Taddy, after this. One of the few really to break the dominance of Jarvis in recent years.
Yeah, 100%. The year after, he had the ride of his life. Like, you know, one of them days when everything just, like I said, with like, you know, like the conversation we had a few minutes ago. You see, like, me in fourth here, coming into like to that lazy noon thing that cost me like 4 positions.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, just like that.
To Alfredo. Yeah, he said it was just, you know, the day that everything worked. You know, the bike was on point. He was riding good. You know, no mistakes. Oh, here we go.
Here you are, Tads. Look, you got good pace there, man. You just stops, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you see, like the bike. Here comes Mario. Yeah, that was Mario. Like
heartbreaker.
Yeah, that didn't feel good.
I can only imagine.
So check this out. I went from 4th to 5th, from 5th to 6th, and I think Billy's gonna like pass both me and Wade right now, like in a second. So yeah, that lazy mill thing, man. I didn't remember that I hated that place so bad. Now I remember.
Yeah, sorry. This is uncomfortable viewing. This is for you, Tad.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's awesome. Like I said, my bike was so off. I was so stoked. And check this out. This is Billy.
Whoa, what a ride up there.
I know, man. Like, that was even worse than the Mario pass, you know? At least Mario was kind of struggling, and he just flew past us, like, pour up.
You've won it 5 times, Taddy. Don't you worry too much.
Nah, it's just, it's good, it's good to talk, to take things.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have won it 5 times if you weren't as competitive as you are either. So, yeah,
100%. But it's when it's time for a good laugh, it's good to have a good laugh, right? But yeah, when we're gonna line up next year, like, no, don't you worry, I'm gonna give it everything.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, yeah, because you joined with Graham now, so to be the all-time winner, you need another one on your own.
Yeah, like he's running out of time, so. Hopefully, like, I can win next year, and then he's gonna retire.
You're like a juvenile, mate, getting in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to next year's event. Like, after watching all this,
Yeah. Well, this will get you fired up. So Billy Bolt, I mean, he's another rider, very capable of taking the win there, isn't he? If things go right for him.
Yeah, 100%. Just like, he improved, like, the last few years he's been, like, on the rise 100%, got it all figured out for sure.
So, Billy, yeah.
This is me still struggling.
Do you want me to give you a little bit more? It might be depressing news for you. Well, no, it's good. Well, yeah, it's a little bit depressing. This was the first time you finished but didn't win. What's that about?
Yeah. Thanks, man.
It's unbelievable.
Awesome. You got something else that you want to throw at me, or is this all right?
No.
Nah, I know, no worries. Like I said, I'm always up for a good laugh. So yeah, it's like, you see, like, you can't really see it here, but if you like watch my clutch master cylinder, like, it's all like zip tied together. You see, like, all the zip ties sticking out. Like, you see, like, the zip ties here on, like, where my
hanging out the side.
Yeah, so like it was all broken, so I got it all back together, like zip tied it all back together. But man, I will remember, like, I didn't remember, my mind like blacked it out. I didn't remember that it was, you know, that it took me so long.
Well, I guess at the time it wouldn't have felt anything like it looks now, you know what I mean? You're fighting it, look, you're almost trying to lift it up sideways. I mean, just to get a little ridge there.
I manhandled the thing all the way to the top.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's not how you want to be getting that bike to the top.
Oh, yeah, you see all the zip ties there, like,
yes,
on the clutch side, yeah.
And I mean, a clutch is like, it doesn't really get any more important than a clutch, does it, in an event like this?
Oh yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like, you know, we're talking, you know, that hill. I mean, basically, Ersberg in general, you know, clutch is, yeah. You really need one.
You really need one, mate. Yeah, it's as important as the throttle and brakes, that's for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
You're nearly there, Tad. We're going to have a little cheer when we get over the top of this.
Come on, Taddy. Give it that.
Come on, Taddy.
One last push.
Dig in, bro.
Come on, lad.
It's getting there. Oh, the front's nearly over. You can feel your pain from it. He's done it. He's done it.
Oh, yeah. Yoo-hoo.
That's why we love the Erzbergrodeo, the Red Bull Scramble at the Erzbergrodeo, isn't it? I mean, and you know, like you say, that would have been completely sucked. But I'd imagine you get up the next morning and you couldn't wait. Wish you had another go at it right there and then.
Well, maybe the next morning, but like the next Sunday.
Yeah, you might be out hurting for a few days. So Cody, there he is, first American podium at the Hair Scramble. Brilliant stuff. Taddy there. I don't know.
Yeah, I was me finishing, like, after, you know, pushing my bike up Lazy Null for like 3.5 hours.
33 minutes, Jarvis's winning margin that year. It's incredible.
Yeah, he killed it at Lazy Null, right? Like that hill, you know, that where everyone else was struggling, that hill that, you know, killed me. He just, you know, like, pretty much, you know, when he done it, it looked like there was nothing there, right? Yeah, but this is what happens when you win. Things just happen, you know.
After he'd gone through, I think they cranked the steepness up of it. That's what happened. Anyway, we've got some questions for you. Taddy. Let's have a look. From the USA, Pat, at 37, how long do you plan racing and what are you going to do when you stop?
Well, I already retired once, so I've got this one out of the way. Well, I have no real schedule on when I'm gonna retire. You know, as of today, you know, I'm having fun and still like in full race mode, and I feel like I can win both indoors and outdoors. You know, so as long as I feel like I'm competitive and I'm having fun, I'm gonna stick around. And once I'm done, I don't know, I'll take like 15 years off, and then I'll do something, or maybe.
Well, your body deserves it after a career like this. That's definite.
Yeah, just,
Lisa from Austria.
Just take it easy for sure.
Yeah, exactly. A good 10 years with your feet up. No one can begrudge you that.
I'll be fine with 10
Who's your biggest rival been, Taddy?
You know, like I've been racing a few of the big names in all the different disciplines. You know, like indoors. You know, I've been there like racing. With Nider, you know, back in the day, then, you know, Cody Webb, you know, Colton Haker, you know, we got Billy Bolton. Now, like this year, I finished second to Billy Bolton. He was riding really good, but, you know, so I had quite a few, you know, good competitors, like, through my career. And outdoors, you know,
most
like I said, my
names career come up at one point.
Yeah, exactly, like 100%. I won, like, you know, through all the different stages in my career, right? So, but the outdoors, I think, you know, Graham was always there because he actually, you know, he's been there forever. So Graham's been there, you know, Nider's been there outdoors, you know, Johnny, you know, like we said when we watched the 16 or 15 race, you know, when me and Johnny had a really good like battle the first 30 minutes. So yeah, basically all the names from the past and the boys from right now, you know, like me and Manny had this cool battle going on at Gadsden last year. So, you know.
Yeah.
One more question.
Yeah,
so,
amazing.
You know, from back in the day to now.
Well, we might. Yeah, exactly. You were. You know, you are one of the godfathers of hard enduro. I mean, I remember you when you started it. I remember watching you race. You know what I mean? So we got.
That's awesome. Yeah.
we've had this question a little bit before from Nate from South Africa. You and Jarvis, 5 hare scrambles wins each. Who's going to get to 6 first then? Who is it going to be, Taddy? This is it now. I want a straight answer.
All right, straight answer. Let's do the math. Graham's 45, so I have a bigger shot at winning more than he's got. So I don't know, man. Like, I'll give it everything I have next year, and we'll see how it's gonna go. But yeah, I mean, he's an animal. I mean, all them boys are animals. Like it's gonna be tough. So, but yeah, we both have a shot at winning another one for sure.
Well, I can't wait to watch it, Taddy. That's for sure. And we're going to let you go now. And I must say, it's been, a real pleasure. Thanks for your time, mate. It's been great to look back at that race with you and to hear your thoughts on you getting stuck on that last climb there for quite a while. But yeah, it's been brilliant. Thanks very much, Taddy.
Yeah, thanks for bringing back the memories, and thanks for that lazy nun thing, man. I think, yeah.
That's got you all fired up for next year, innit?
I'm going to have to go back to the blackout mode and not remember about it before we race next
year. Yeah, you won't sleep tonight. All right, Taddy, we'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot.
And we've just heard Taddy there talking about next year's Ersbergrodeo and Hare Scramble, and it is scheduled for June the 3rd to June the 6th in 2021. If you want to ride, well, you need to get online. I think in February when the entries come out, you've got more luck getting a ticket for the Glastonbury Music Festival than you have getting an entry for the Red Bull Erzbergrodeo. Manny's back. Hello, Manny.
Yes,
yeah, we caught you off guard there. You were picking
Hi guys,
your nose.
What's up?
So we're going to look back now at the 2019 Hare Scramble with you. Are you ready?
Happy 25th.
The most recent one.
I hope so.
This event is unreal.
I want to wish
All the best for
21st,
the 25th
edition of the Ersbergrodeo. Happy anniversary.
to the Ersbergrodeo.
I wish you all the best for the
25th edition of Ersbergrodeo.
I hope you have a good weekend.
Have great fun and everybody enjoy a lot the show.
Yeah!
Yeah! Oh my God. Already 25 years, The event is older than myself, which is insane.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. It's totally mad. Like I'm now 22 and the event is already 25, so that's pretty cool to see, that such a big event is already so long in the
yeah. So established already, and there's Graham back in the pack. I don't know if you were listening then, but Taddy and Graham going for the 6th win. Who's going to get it first, Manny? Who do you think?
Oh, I hope that I'm not going to lose against Graham again. So I hope I can give it another shot next year. But yeah, we were all fired up. Yeah, we were all fired up in 2019. Yeah, we can see I'm running 2 goggles at the start. Some proper special secret stuff, what I would say.
Some what? 2 pairs? Did you literally have 2 pairs of goggles on?
Yeah, I had 2 pairs on because we had some big pedals. So
that's a brilliant idea. I've never known anyone run 2 pairs of goggles, like maybe 20 tear-offs, but yeah. And is that Laia Sands there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Laia Sands. He gave it a shot last year, which is super nice, that we see like also Sandra Gomez, like one of the best women in the off-road dirt bike scene are giving it a shot at Red Bull Erzbergrodeo.
It's great, isn't it, to see him recognised and on the front row there like that. Amazing, yeah. So
yeah, totally. It's super nice. Start this year, 2019, like already Teddy said, like back in the days it was engine off, and now we started with engine on, which is way better because nobody can cheat, I would say. So that's a big advantage for not an advantage, but it just helps a lot that nobody can cheat at the start.
You never did the Western Beach race. I've never seen such cheating as that. No one even waits for the flag to drop. They just get on the beach and go. So this is actually quite good. And here we go. Plenty of water down there as well again.
Yeah. Weird. Like myself, I had a really good start. There we can see already I'm in third, Garcia was in front, he got the whole shot. And there we see, that was such a bummer, like Ryan Sipes. It's been his first year at Red Bull Erzbergrodeo and he made all this mess in the first uphill. But yeah, it was cool to see Ryan coming out of like Supercross and doing all them different races last year, like them Sipes program, which is such
it's amazing,
a cool idea,
isn't it?
you know?
Yeah,
it's so cool to see. Like he's doing, I think, some extremes, some outdoors, some Supercross, which is super nice.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So where are you at the moment here, Manny?
I'm in third. Garcia is leading. I think that Johnny's second and myself in third position. We have been going fast at the beginning. It's always so nice if you have a good start and you know that there are not so many guys in front of you, just to clean the first forest parts and the first uphill is quite nice because you don't have traffic anywhere.
It must make life, it's almost like a different race, isn't it? Even just to be in 20 riders back. Like you say, the fact that you can get up these climbs, there's not bikes littered all over them, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. It's definitely a good start is such a big advantage. Yeah, then we can see Garcia, you know, he's just pinning it, you know, like he's such a fast rider, and him as a normal enduro rider doing all them crazy extreme races, he's actually progressing quite well the last couple of years now.
Well, you know, he's got unbelievable pace, hasn't he? But yeah, but to see him take on the Ersbergrodeo as more of someone coming from a motocross background, it's a big undertaking. But that's really what the WESS series is about, though, isn't it? Putting all these riders from different genres together and seeing who can come out on top in different events.
Totally, you know, like I think I also showed it last year, you know, like I'm also a really good all-rounder, and that's what the race is, like the WESS is about, you know, like you have to be good in every kind of situation. So it's nice. I learned a lot in like all them fast stuffs. I think also Garcia or for example Watson, they also learn a couple of extreme stuff, which is super important, and I think it also helps sometimes in the different disciplines.
Bit of a bottleneck there, look at that. But yeah, that's right. And I mean, you know, you can't get a trials background overnight, can you? Most people who do trials, since they do it from like knee-high to a grasshopper. So this was a new section, I believe, last year, Manny, right?
It was kind of a new old section. Back in the days, it called Three Kings. This year they built up these new tunnels, and it called now Center at the mountain. So
had a rebrand.
Yeah, it was such a cool thing, you know, like we went into a tunnel with lights and everything, you know, like just the scenes, you know, of the GoPro footage is unbelievable. I think I was leading at this point already. I think I passed Johnny right at the beginning, and also then Garcia in the first little forest.
Did your mindset change when you got in the lead? I mean, you've led a lot of big races, but you know, do you feel like there's a pressure on you then not to make a mistake any more than if you're
I was like, Manny, go faster, please. Nah, just kidding. Like I tried to stay. Oh, look at this guy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah. This was a crazy first uphill. Like it was so weird because it was super narrow and so many big rocks. So in every row, I think it got such a big mess because somebody crashed and the whole row got stuck behind this guy. But yeah, back to what we just talked about it. That it's definitely different, you know. So really important.
Yeah. Well, especially, you know, I hate to say it, but when you're looking at winning it for the first time as well, I mean, that's you kind of Look at these amateurs. Do you feel for them? I mean, they probably have the toughest job out of everyone because they are going to use every minute of that 4 hours, and most of them not going to get anywhere near the finish.
Yeah, totally. Like we can see, you know, myself last year, I think I finished around 2.5 hours or something like this. Graham was even faster, and them amateur riders just doing it until the last very end, you know, until the horn signal comes up.
And it's just, you know, of course, it's all we know about the Iron Road Prologue leading into the Hare Scramble, but over the 4 days, there's loads of events in there, rocket ride and demonstrations. I mean, there's no festival of off-road motorsport, motocross, motorbikes like this, is there really?
Yeah, Yeah, totally. Like I already said, you know, it's one of the biggest off-road festivals, and it's so cool to see, you know, them all good vibes, and the Iron Giant prologue, you know, like Garcia, which is just in the scene. He was so fast going there, you know. It's
was
unbelievable. Yeah, he was absolutely flying up there. Then we have the Storm of Eisenherz, which is such a rare thing. They always bring some dinosaurs into the event, you know, just to bring them to the Storm of Eisenherz. There we can see the dinosaur. It's insane.
A dinosaur?
A big dinosaur. Like last year when we walked up into the main pits, and they literally brought like I think 3 different big dinosaurs, which is so sick.
No way.
Yeah, definitely. There we can see how crazy the people are, you know.
Well, you obviously being a pro, you don't get involved in it, but the beer tent's quite lively, isn't it? Oh, look at this climb. Oh.
Yeah. This was insane, this climb. Like, it was completely new, and I was like, the photographers, please help me, and they just stay there and make some pictures. Maybe this angle, but yeah.
Are you not at the no help zone yet? Then can you still have assistance at this point? Is that right?
It was before no help zone, yeah.
Ah, really? So you literally were saying, grab a fork and give me a pull?
Yeah, because it was.
Put down your cameras, for God's sake! I'm trying to win the Ersberg.
Yeah, it was right before machine, so maybe like 2 uphills before machine or something like this, and it was so steep. Like nobody expected like such a small uphill gets like so hard to get up there. Like Johnny, everybody was struggling up there. Yeah. Oh my God, this was such a nice line.
That was a nice ride, wasn't it? That.
Yeah, totally.
Was it hot last year? Looks bone dry.
It was pretty alright. Like it was quite dry, but like the conditions were actually pretty solid, I would say, for racing. It wasn't dusty as a couple of years ago, but it was also not really wet. So yes, now we're in machine, and I had one of the best shots ever in this one. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah, I was so impressed with myself. Oh!
Ah! That was a big way back down.
He was sending it. Oh, another crash.
Oh my.
Ooh.
So yeah, but you were pleased with the way you went through machine, were you, Manny?
Yeah, totally. When I was up there, I was like, oh my God, I definitely killed it. You know, like I gave some props to myself, like when I was racing it.
Did you start partying in the helmet there that the victory was coming, or was it much too early in the event for that?
Nah, it was much too early, but I was like, this gave me another like 20 or 30 seconds, you know. Like at the beginning, we were always racing each other, so every kind of like clear uphill, you just can save so much time, which is
and energy, I guess. I mean, even for a pro like you, it's a relatively short, but like we say, incredibly intense. But physically, do you get exhausted by the end of it?
Yeah, of course.
I thought you did. No, I wondered. You know, I mean, it's 2 hours, but it's so much pushing, isn't there?
Yeah. Like already Teddy said, you know, like for us, it's more like a sprint race, you know, and we just race our heart out. So we always give our best.
Dude, this is what's nuts about the Ezbergrodeo, the hair scramble. Like, are you for real? Is this really happening? Is this actually happening?
This is actually happening that a Bavarian guy struggles in the snow. It's insane.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
You're quite a good skier, I heard.
Yeah.
What's up? He's never seen snow before. He doesn't know what it is. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Look at the speed of him.
Yeah. What is the white thing on the dirt?
It's like he's shooting a free ride ski movie, the speed he went down that chute. Look at that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You get everything, man.
He passed me there, but like 2 minutes later I passed him back, where I was really happy about it. It was insane, you know, like it was still really cold, and then you have to ride down a big, long snowfield, which was super scary, especially because I crashed right at the beginning. So I was just sliding maybe 50 meters down or something like this.
It is bonkers. Are the descents more terrifying than the ascents? Are the downhills worse than the uphills here at this event, Manny?
Like the downhills are sometimes more scarier because at the uphills you just can't make them sometimes, so that's the problem. But yeah, I would say them uphills are definitely like it's the biggest part where you can just lose a lot of time. Like we just said, Wade, he was doing a pit stop. I didn't make one just out of strategy because I thought the fuel is enough until the first pit stop, so we kind of gambling a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
So how many fuel stops would you need then? Just one? You try and do it just one stop, do you?
Yeah, just one. Just one was enough. And I was still good, you know, with food and water. Sometimes you also, you know, just stop to get some bars or whatever. But I just felt really good at this point, and it was before we dropped into Karl Steiner, and I was like, I don't want to put too much fuel into my bike now. You know, it's also heavier than at the end, and just sometimes also like a little bit of strategy in the background.
And this is that insanely steep run into Karl's Dinner, isn't it? Like,
yeah, this is really steep, but not the same one.
You're riding it, right? Are you on the bike?
Yeah,
there?
I was riding it. It was not the same one what we have done in 2015, but because they made it so much longer, like you can't believe, you know, like back in the days, also the length of Karl's Dinner, it was completely different. Now we're starting maybe 1 kilometer further from the right and go completely to the left, then back to the right, and just it's unbelievable how long it is.
And you got 50 seconds on Graham Jarvis here. I mean, when you're talking about Karl's Dinner and Jarvis, I guess that's not that much time. Were you aware that he was that far behind? Did you have people telling you the gaps?
No, not at all. Like I'm more of a guy who's not so much interested into the times, you know, like I'm just racing and trying my best to also give my best, you know, so I don't really matter what the other guys are doing.
No, you ride your own race, that's that.
Yeah, I try to ride my own race, which is, I think, a good thing, and sometimes it's working out for sure. Sometimes it's also good to know what the times are, but then I think now when you don't know it, then you're just so much more focused.
Mate, that's right, yeah. And of course you went on this year, 2019, last year, to win the overall, the WESS series, to become the Ultimate Enduro World Champion. I mean, where were you at this point where were you in the standings at this point, Manny?
I think I was around second. Like I had really good results right at the beginning, you know, like starting out with a podium.
You won Romaniacs, didn't you? So
yeah, I won Romaniacs, but it was 2 events after Ersberg, so
it was after. Excuse me.
Yeah. I was sitting around. Yeah, I think I was second actually. Second.
And you still had your wins?
No wins, only podiums at this point. So I try to be Mr. Consistent, you know, like always saying I'm Ryan Dungey in extreme enduro sport, because he also won a couple of championships just to be the Mr. Consistent, you know.
That's right. But look, this is like this just I don't know, the pressure on you here, because you know, like, everyone's
you know,
there,
like,
all of you. Look at it.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking there, oh my God, the white face with the black helmet is coming and coming always closer. Yeah.
It's right. He's intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah. It's unbelievable, you know, like. He's just so good in Karl's Dinner, and I would say last year I wasn't slow, you know, like I was going the same speed as the other guys, but he was just 6 minutes faster than everybody else.
Is that what it was, basically? 6 minutes? And
yeah, 6 minutes.
And you didn't get too involved in all the mud and filth then back at like some of the amateurs. There was unbelievable scenes in the woods. Look at it.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, also the whole track looks completely different after every year, you know, like we always see the track, and then for them, you know, like I don't remember any kind of mud, but for them it's like a big mud party, you know. So
yeah, dude, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Honestly, when I look at this, I'm like, this isn't really made for motorbikes to be going up. You know what I mean? It's just madness.
Yeah, it's just madness. And sometimes they're just...
It is, isn't it? It is madness. I'm right. It's lunacy. The trials bike wouldn't really be even the tool for that.
No, not at all.
No. So Graham's leading now.
Thing, you know, it's the best thing if you just don't go there, you know? Like, just miss it completely.
Yeah. It's the ideal way through it.
Yeah. Nah, like, there we just see Graham, he passed me and he just pulled away, you know? Like, I was, in my mind, was going through my mind, like, how is he going so fast? Like, I just tried to stay with him, but I had no chance at all to ride his speed.
Is that really right? Yeah, it's yeah. I mean,
it's really
you're not the only rider to say that.
Yeah, I think everybody has the same opinion about Graham, you know, like, he's just one of the best guys out there, and especially in them extreme bits, his bike setup is working great, his riding technique, you know, he also never, like, really stressing out, you know, he's such a calm rider, and sometimes if you're in front of him and making a mistake, he's just waiting, I can take this line.
Does he really? You just sit back and let it all unfold? Yeah. He never seems to panic then?
Nah,
maybe here a little bit.
Where's the flag?
Here a little bit, yeah. This was a weird situation, you know, like, we always, like, checking out the track as good as possible. Yeah, he's screaming around and has no idea where
He had 10 minutes on you here, which isn't long if you get lost, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, he made all this forest, which was insane because he was not really marked, but he have done it. And normally the checkpoint wasn't in the race, so if I would pass him in Green Hell and have been first in the finish, he's still got like a 6-minute advantage because he done this checkpoint and all of us haven't.
Oh, is that right? Is that right? I didn't know that. Oh, interesting. So we had another 6 minutes to play with, but you didn't know that at the time, right?
No, I didn't know that at the time. I just saw him right before Green Hell and was like, oh my god, I made just such a good time, dude. I was like, nah, I'm feeling strong, man, you know, like really like just focused and really motivated again. But yeah, at the end I knew that something is wrong when the track manager told me, you don't have to go up there, and they just skipped the part out of the race, which he done.
Oh, look at it. Here you go, Manny.
I had actually a really good shot. There we can see, we just see Graham, you know, like he was a little bit in the back and then he saw me coming and just pushed his bike a little bit more in front, that I have no chance just to pass him.
Do you reckon he did? Is that what, does all that go on?
I think so. Like,
I love it. This is great.
You know, that's part of racing. I think everybody.
Well, that's what I'd have done, mate, for sure. You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, totally.
But you know, Manny, at this point then, you'd not won a round of the WESS. You're right there with Graham Jarvis, right? I mean, look at the crowd. It must be pretty unbelievable. What does it feel like? I feel like you're under so much pressure to just get out the top of this thing.
Yeah, totally. Like, the last few meters up there, you know, it wasn't rideable at all, you know, like we had to push so much, and there were so many people just cheering for us, and I think this was probably like to ride the shittiest part, but from the motivation and from the fans and like just the vibes, it was one of the best parts.
Yeah. Certainly one of the best to look back at. Maybe not at the time, but look at this.
Yeah, not at the time. I was like, oh my god, we are struggling in Green Hell again. You know, like I already have a good story from 2018 where myself and Billy, we helped each other, and I went back to help him again. So Green Hell, I have some good, bad memories, I would say.
You got some history with Grüne Hölle. How is it? Grüne Hölle, is that right?
Grüne Hölle. Grüne Hölle.
Pretty, not really then.
Yeah, it's hard. I know. German is hard. It's a hard language.
But there's Andre, isn't it? There, your dad's there as well, look.
Yeah. He was always...
What's he saying to you at this point, Manny?
He's just trying to keep me calm, you know, like... he also showed Graham some lines just to get me also...
Send him off on the wrong way.
Yeah, send him... No. But just helping him as well. Just because we were struggling in there and had to wait. And you never know, you know, somebody, maybe the third guy is already coming, you know, so we...
Three's a crowd, mate, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like, that's right. You need, he's just trying to get you both out of there.
Yeah, totally. Because, you know, like, there's no chance to pass somebody, so you kind of stuck, like, I was stuck behind Graham and just had to wait until he's up and then I could ride up.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it is. Yeah. Pretty tough, I'd say, but and you know that the minute he gets over the top of there, he is long gone, right? He's going to be pedal to the metal now. How much time did you lose to him there, Manny? Was it just a few seconds? Or it took you a while?
In Green Hell, not so much, I would say. Like, it was just more, maybe like 1 minute or something like this. Like, I struggled completely at the end. But then he just pushed so much. Also through Dynamite, you know, like also them middle parts, he was just flying, I would say. Like I was so impressed last year at Romaniacs when we rode together the first couple of days. He was going so fast, you know, also in them fast races.
Was he?
Yeah, totally. In them fast bits, he was going so fast that I was like, if Graham, he's gonna ride 4 days in this speed, he's definitely gonna win Romaniacs again, you know? Like, I was so impressed with his fast speed, you know? Because normally he's like a technical rider, but he can also sense it in another way.
And how old are you now, Manny, you say? How old are you?
22.
So Graham, he's 23 years older than you. He's actually more than double your age. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable sat here to me to see you two battling like that. It really is. It's an amazing thing to see. It is.
It's insane. Like, for myself, maybe it's a little bit of a shame that a 44-year-old guy beats me, but...
Well, that is the truth, yeah.
At the end, you know, like, he's the GOAT, you know, greatest of all time, I would say, in our sport. So I can be proud of my second place last year.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, and like, you know, you got a few goes ahead of you. Yeah, that was nice to get up there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so sketchy because normally the line was on the left side of the arch and I went the steepest way up because I was just so slow. My dad told me after the race, he was like, how did you come up lazy noon? It was like, it looked like there was no chance that you still make it. And I was like, yeah, just a pro, you know?
just wind it on and lean back. So here's Graham then, coming in for that historic 5th Hare Scrabble win, putting himself level with Taddy Blazusiak.
Yeah, insane. It's insane.
5 times a winner, Manny. Yeah, you know, that was, you know, that you weren't far off that being you this year, though, were you? Last year, that was nearly you.
Yeah, but hey, I'm definitely, like, he deserves it, you know, like, he was the best guy out there this year again at Red Bull Erzbergrodeo, and he definitely deserves his 5th win. He put a lot of work into it and just raced his heart out, so props to him.
Yeah,
definitely.
There's no taking it away from him. He is the man at the Ersbergrodeo, isn't he, at the moment? In recent years, there is no one to touch Jarvis. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, super simple. I hope maybe next year I have another shot and maybe can beat him one time.
Yeah. What was it like for you to win the Getson? I mean, because that's another huge hard enduro on home soil. You know what I mean? You won that. That must have been an incredible day for you, Manny.
Yeah, definitely one of the best moments so far in my career, you know, like to win Erzbergrodeo in front of my home crowd, WESS finally, you know, to get the WESS championship, to get everything like in one spot and on one weekend in my country. Like, my family was there, my friends were there, like, I would say best moment in my whole life.
Yeah, that's kind of what you've been riding towards all this time. That's great.
Yeah.
So great. It was a little bit of time you had on you in the end. Then at the end of this one.
Yeah, totally. We had also a good party afterwards.
Was it? Was it?
Yeah, for sure.
Did Graham have the energy to get to the party? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, I have no.
Was he there?
You know, sometimes you're just already so exhausted that you have power again. You know, like you get over this step and you're like, okay, now we're going full out.
And what did this feel like coming round to take second place? I mean, an incredible achievement.
I was happy. Little no-hander for the crowd. I was really happy about this. Like, I think I had a really good race. I've done my job, you know. Like I gave my best. At the end, he was a little bit better than me, but I think I improved again. You know, like third, second. So there is one more sport in the making, and
yeah,
I hope I can achieve it one day.
Mario Roman in third, 2 minutes in the end. It wasn't that you know, like we've seen much bigger gaps just on the ones we've watched today. So 2 minutes away from winning. Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah. Close.
Close. That's right. Really close.
Yeah. Always such a cool atmosphere, you know, like in the finish. You're just so happy, and you wait until the other guys are coming in, and it's just such a cool vibe, like in the finish area, just hanging around with the guys, talking about the race, maybe get one beer or something like this.
Yeah, I bet. Go straight to it. I mean, you know, the camaraderie that you show out on the track as well. I mean, it's nice that you're all friends in hard enduro, aren't you? Because you race the terrain kind of just as much as you race each other, I suppose.
Yeah, totally. We race the terrain, and sometimes, for sure, we race each other, but we always have to take care about everybody.
Well, Manny, it's been absolutely amazing to look back at these Ersbergs, these hare scrambles with you. So thanks very much for joining us this afternoon.
No problem. I enjoyed it actually. Like, it was nice to see like them old races going on, and also like the 2013 race, you know, where my dad was still on the old Husky, and yeah, it was definitely a cool way to go through the races again.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. No, you go and get ready for the upcoming WESS Series. Defend your title, bro, and we'll see you soon. So, well, Manny's gone, but thanks to him and thanks to Taddy, Paul, Bolton, and everyone for watching this afternoon. It's been absolutely amazing to look back at these Ersbergrodeos, these Red Bull hare scrambles, and we hope that the WESS Series can go at the end of July, and that will, of course, be live on Red Bull TV. Until then, it's goodbye for now.